Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, online game. God-tier assassin, I am the shadow. Chapter 1. Qin Xiaoyu, are you still a human being? Qin Feng suddenly opened his eyes. Veins popped out on his forehead, and his eyes were filled with shock, anger, and disappointment. It hurts so much. He never dreamed that his sister, whom he had taken care of since childhood, would do such a thing to him. I thought you were just chasing stars and being rebellious. But, recalling what just happened, Qin Feng was extremely heartbroken. No one knows that he is a time traveler. He was adopted by a couple right after he traveled through time and became an orphan. When he was 5 years old, the couple gave birth to a daughter, named Qin Xiaoyu. Fortunately, the parents did not favor the younger daughter, but treated them equally. Qin Feng also took special care of his sister, especially when his parents died in a car accident when he was 18 years old, and he shouldered the burden of surviving and taking care of his sister all by himself. The accident happened when Qin Xiaoyu first entered college. God abandoned the game has arrived. People can enter the game, kill monsters to gain lifespan, or even consume lifespan, extracting in-game abilities into reality. A strong man can tear apart airplanes and tanks with his hands, and even resisting nuclear bombs with his body is not a dream. From then on, the world changed drastically and disaster spread. When it became difficult for countless people to survive, Qin Feng dragged his sister Qin Xiaoyu along the way and became one of the top 100 experts in the world. Finally, Qin Feng obtained a mysterious ancient god's eyeball from an ancient god's ruins. At this point, he finally has the qualifications to climb to the top. He never thought that his sister Qin Xiaoyu would attack him. Qin Feng had no defense against his sister. The other party mixed the water of wandering soul into the drink. After Qin Feng drank it, he completely lost his ability to move. Then Qin Xiaoyu stood in front of Qin Feng and said lightly, "Ever since I was little, you have known how to take care of me and control me. This is not allowed, and that is not allowed. I feel suffocated every day. I have never experienced freedom for a moment. I know, you hate Seinfeld. You don't let me go to his meetings or concerts. How much have I missed because of you? But do you know, Brother Seinfeld took the initiative to contact me today. It turns out he knew about my existence all along. But because of you, he knows that there is no possibility for him and me. Until now, I have waited for the opportunity. As long as I get your ancient god's eyeballs, Brother Seinfeld will be stronger than you. You can't stop us from being together." Qin Feng's soul wandered outside, watching this scene helplessly. His sister Qin Xiaoyu, wearing a white dress, actually gouged out his eyes with her own hands. The other party's beautiful face was filled with excitement and joy. "Don't worry, Brother Seinfeld said he will find you new eyes. As long as you don't stop us from being together." After getting Qin Feng's eyeballs, Qin Xiaoyu happily left the room. But what she doesn't know is, Seinfeld gave her water for souls with some deadly toxins added to it. Not long after she left, Qin Feng died suddenly. When Qin Feng opened his eyes again, he found himself lying on the bed. This is a simple and refreshing small bedroom. The curtains next to the floor-to-ceiling windows were gently blown by the breeze, and the warm sunlight filtered through the gaps and fell on the quilt. I went back to 9 years ago. Am I reborn? Qin Feng sat up from the bed, looking a little dazed. Recalling everything that happened in his previous life, Qin Feng's expression turned cold. Seinfeld. This person is a star in Daxia. Qin Xiaoyu has been paying attention to this person since he was still a trainee, and like many star chasers, he is very fanatical and rebellious. Qin Feng took care of her because of this. We are not allowed to stay up late at night, we are not allowed to go to bars, and we are not allowed to smoke. Does this make you feel suffocated? In the age of God-abandoned games, I won't let you form a team with strangers. For safety's sake, I will take you to level up from beginning to end. As a result, you feel like this makes you unfree. Qin Feng still remembers it. On the day when the God-abandoned game came, Qin Xiaoyu was having trouble with him. Because Song Fei had a concert in the next city, Qin Xiaoyu wanted to buy tickets, but Qin Feng refused because she had a high-level math exam that day. Instead of taking the exam, go to the concert. How could Qin Feng agree? Result: Qin Xiaoyu went secretly with her best friend. Qin Feng originally planned to wait for her to apologize, but the next day, God abandoned the game came. Worried about Qin Xiaoyu's safety, Qin Feng found her and took the initiative to ask for peace. Under the protection of Qin Feng, Qin Xiaoyu encountered no setbacks or difficulties at all in this disaster era. Many people envied her for having such a brother. But who would have thought that in her heart, Qin Feng, the brother who had taken care of him for more than 10 or 20 years, would be inferior to a singing and dancing contestant. Brother Seinfeld, hee. Qin Xiaoyu, I never thought you could be so stupid. Even if you take the ancient god's eyeball, you can just use it yourself. Give someone else your eyeballs. Do you really think that Seinfeld knows you and likes you? Qin Feng smiled coldly. God's abandoned game has arrived, and the former star Seinfei, although he is doing well, is only a second-rate master after all, and cannot even match Qin Feng with a finger. In 9 years, Seinfei never had any interaction with Qin Feng or Qin Xiaoyu. As a result, as soon as Qin Feng got the ancient god's eyeball, the other party came to his door. Obviously, the other party's only purpose is the ancient god's eyeballs. And Qin Xiaoyu naively believed that the other party wanted to be with her. In my last life, I missed too much to protect you. I missed out on a lot of people, a lot of opportunities. I gave up on many dangerous areas just because I didn't want to take you into danger. If not, I would probably not only be in the top 100 in the world, but I could even go one step further. Since you think it's a restraint for me to control you and protect you, then so be it. This life, I just pretend that I don't have you as my sister. Without your burden, it will only be easier. If it were someone else who did this to Qin Feng, he would not be able to let him go so easily when he was reborn. But Qin Xiaoyu, after all, she is the biological daughter of her adoptive father and mother. For the sake of her dead parents, Qin Feng was willing to give her a way to live, but the chance was only once. From now on, let her fend for herself. As for Seinfei, he is naturally on Qin Feng's must-kill list. And when Qin Feng decided to get rid of the burden of Qin Xiaoyu, he instantly relaxed and felt suddenly enlightened. I have never felt so relaxed in all these years. Qin Feng is looking forward to it. Without Qin Xiaoyu, who is a dragman, what height can he reach? At this time, a mechanized cold voice suddenly sounded in Qin Feng's mind, and at the same time, a series of mysterious characters appeared in front of his eyes. Eye of Judgment is being activated. You have obtained the authority to judge. The cold voice sounded, making Qin Feng stunned for a moment. The Eye of Judgment, the authority to judge. This is the ancient god's eyeball he obtained. The Eye of Judgment is a relic of the ancient gods. When I got it, it was already bound to me. Even if you take out my eyes, you can't take them away. So, this thing came back after me and was reborn. In the last life, Qin Feng failed to activate this thing anyway. Unexpectedly, after he was reborn, the ancient god's eyeballs actually activated. What is the use of the Eye of Judgment and the authority of judgment? Qin Feng was a little confused. He closed his eyes. In the darkness, there seemed to be an eyeball that existed forever and was looking at him. In front of Qin Feng's eyes, a line of explanatory text appeared. This text appeared in a form he could understand, that is, the Daxia text, and flew to his eyes from the darkness. Eye of Judgment activated. The only attribute, the authority to judge. The authority of judgment, the most authentic and ancient original authority in the universe. Authority overrides rules and order. You do not have divineness, and cannot activate authority temporarily, but the passive effect takes effect. Power passive. When entering the God abandonment game, you will automatically obtain the highest level talent. Original authority. Authority overrides rules and order. Qin Feng was shocked. Rules, order, this is the ultimate power that people can get from the game abandoned by God. In the last life, in the 7th year since the advent of the God-abandoned game, a strong man escaped from the God-abandoned land, and finally arrived at the Order land. Only then did he have a slight possibility of mastering the power of order. In fact, for 9 years, as far as Qin Feng knew, no one in Blue Star had gained any power of order. And now, he has actually obtained the original authority that overrides order and rules. Although I do not have divinity for the time being, I cannot activate authority. But the passive effect of authority is that after entering the game, I will automatically obtain the highest level talent. Invincible now. Qin Feng's heartbeat accelerated. In his previous life, his talent was an emerald level talent. Jade level is the 7th level. As for the talents, equipment, skills, various grades of the God-abandoned game, there are a total of 13 grades. Inferior quality, ordinary, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emeralds, diamonds. Epic, legend, myth, ancient, immortal. This means that this time I will have immortal talent. Jade level talent has allowed Qin Feng to rank among the top 100 in the world. So, what about the immortal level? This makes Qin Feng a little unimaginable. He took out his cell phone from under the pillow. The time now is 8 o'clock sharp. The God-abandoned game has quietly arrived. In my last life, I was scolded by my boss for being late. It wasn't until noon that I found out about the appearance of the God's abandonment game. I even went to the school to find Qin Xiaoyu to beg for peace and apologize. After wrangling for a long time, it was already night when I entered the game with her. A whole day's development time was wasted. Now that he was reborn, Qin Feng naturally had to race against time. Nothing superfluous will be done. From 8 o'clock this morning, as long as any adult falls asleep, his consciousness will enter the God's abandoned land and join the God's abandoned game. At the same time, our bodies will become virtual in reality. Although the virtual body can be seen with the naked eye, it cannot be touched, as if it does not exist in this world. In other words, after our consciousness enters the God's abandonment game, the physical body in reality is in an invincible state of unselectable and is in a different dimension from reality. It is precisely because of this incredible situation that the God abandonment game spread extremely quickly. In just half a day, it has spread all over the world. Unexpectedly, the time when I was reborn and came back happened to be the moment when the God abandoned game first came. Fortunately, I usually have insomnia, so I always have some prescription drugs to help me sleep. Qin Feng immediately planned to enter the game. On the one hand, he is looking forward to his highest level talent. On the other hand, he wants to enter the game as early as possible to seize the opportunity. When entering the game for the first time, you must be in sleep state. This is an iron rule. Therefore, Qin Feng did not waste time. Take your prescribed medication, lie down directly on your bed, and get ready to fall asleep. At the same time, Zhonghai Normal University. After autumn, on the campus where the leaves have fallen all the way, groups of students are rushing to the classroom to prepare for class. There was a girl wearing a white dress, with long flowing hair, youthful and beautiful, who was rushing to the classroom with her best friend. My short-haired best friend was a little curious. By the way, Xiaoyu, are you really not going to call your brother and apologize? We skipped the exam yesterday and secretly went to Seinfeld's concert. Your brother must be very angry. The girl with long hair is Qin Xiaoyu. She chuckled. Apologize. He's not my biological brother. Why doesn't he let me go to Seinfeld's concert? Isn't he being too lenient? The short-haired best friend said helplessly, but he is so kind to you. In addition to being strict with you, he will buy you anything else you want. I really envy you for having such a brother. Qin Xiaoyu curled his lips and said indifferently, I have most of my parents' inheritance. Even without him, I can still live well. Who cares? Soon, they entered the classroom and were ready to start class. Qin Xiaoyu had no idea that Qin Feng was no longer the brother she called upon. Little did he know that disaster had quietly come to the entire world. Some videos have been circulated by some people in areas. When a person falls asleep, the body becomes illusory and looks very bizarre. However, no one knows yet what happened to those sleeping people. It will take 2 or 3 hours for the news of God abandons the game to spread completely. And now, Qin Feng has already fallen asleep. When he fell asleep, his consciousness drifted across an unknown world and came to a dark space. Sure enough, this is a familiar scene. There was darkness around Qin Feng without any light source. Suddenly, wisps of gray-white light condensed into the Daxia characters he recognized before his eyes. Welcome to God Abandoned Game. What you are going to, the place abandoned by the gods. Please choose your career. When you choose a profession, you will randomly receive a talent that matches your profession. I wish you good luck. In front of Qin Feng, the gray-white words dispersed. A turntable quickly formed. There are many professions on the wheel, including warriors, mages, priests, shooters, assassins, and so on. If you choose by yourself, you can only choose these basic professions. But there is another option, which is random occupation. If you choose a random profession, you will have a small probability of getting a hidden profession. In my last life, I chose the warrior profession because I wanted to protect Qin Xiaoyu. The warrior is not weak, but his mobility is too poor after all. It's not very suitable for me to do it alone now. Although warriors have strong survivability, their ability to spawn monsters is weak. Not suitable for the current Qin Feng. Anyway, I have the highest level of talent, and I will be very strong in any profession. It's better to try randomly. Maybe a hidden profession. Qin Feng did not hesitate for long and directly chose a random profession. When Qin Feng made his choice, the gray-white turntable in front of him began to rotate. An illusory gray pointer gradually stopped in an area marked with a question mark. As this, out of hiding, Qin Feng's heartbeat suddenly accelerated. As the gray-white pointer stayed, the question mark in the turntable area gradually formed a black symbol. It's a shape somewhat like the Greek letter, phi, but different. The upper and lower ends are like sword blades, extremely sharp and full of killing intent. Congratulations on getting the profession. Shadow, the only one. Shadow, the only hidden profession. You were born from the shadows, you became the shadows, you are the god of death in the darkness. Professional passive 1. Invisibility duration doubled. Professional passive 2. +1 stealth level. Professional passive 3. If you are not within the enemy's sight when launching an attack, the damage of the attack will be doubled. Hidden profession, Shadow. Qin Feng was delighted. This profession is the god of solo farming. In the last life, there seemed to be a shadow player, but he was killed very early. I don't know what the ability of this profession is in the later stage. But these 3 initial professional passives alone mean that my survivability will be very strong. In the God Abandoned game, what is the most important? Many people didn't understand it at first. But as more and more people die, people finally understand. Survivability is the most important thing in the God Abandoned game. If you die in the God's Abandonment game, you won't actually die, but you will lose half of your remaining lifespan. This is the true cruelty of God's Abandonment game. Players can gain lifespan by killing monsters in the God's Abandonment game, and even lifespan will become a common currency in the world. However, once you die in the game, your remaining lifespan will be halved. If your lifespan reaches 0, you will die. In reality, if you are killed by someone, you will die. To ensure the strength in reality, life must be consumed to extract the equipment and skills in the game into reality. You can imagine the importance of lifespan. Of course, survivability is important, and so is damage. As for the shadow profession, as long as the attack is not within the enemy's sight, the damage will be doubled. Not within the enemy's field of vision, stealth also counts. All in all, the survivability and damage of this profession are both impressive. As expected of the only hidden profession, Qin Feng is already very satisfied with this career. At least it was much stronger than the ordinary professional warrior in his previous life. As long as it can develop, even a thick-skinned warrior class can't stop Qin Feng's blow. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng checked his initial skills. Initial skill, Latent Shadow, inferior quality. Enters a state of invisibility that lasts 8 seconds, and will reveal itself when launching an attack. The attack power of breaking the invisible blow is increased by 30. Cool down for 30 seconds. Initial skill, Enhanced Back Attack, inferior quality. Passive effect, when attacking from behind the target, the damage is increased by 10%. The former is invisible, and the latter passively adds back damage. Both skills are the lowest level, inferior, skills, which is normal, because the initial skills of all professions are of this level. I have the passive effect of the shadow profession, and the invisibility duration is doubled, that is 16 seconds of invisibility. Cool down for 30 seconds, which is still a little short of reaching infinite invisibility. Qin Feng felt a little pity. But soon, he no longer felt pity. Because the passive effect from the authority of judgment finally took effect. When Qin Feng's profession was determined, the system randomly selected a top talent for him. Congratulations on getting the talent. Infinite Evolution. Infinite Evolution. Original primary talent, Gray quality. When you kill monsters in a single-player mode, you will have a chance to get evolution points, which can be used to evolve your skills. Note: you can automatically obtain 5 evolution points every 24 hours. If you kill boss-level monsters alone, you will 100% obtain evolution points. Current evolution points: 5 points. What the hell? Isn't it an immortal talent? Why is it a gray-white quality original elementary talent? Qin Feng was a little dumbfounded. I'm a beginner, I've never heard of this level before. Moreover, the gray and white quality is definitely not inferior and ordinary gray and white. It really doesn't look like a top talent. Certainly, whether a talent is strong or not depends on the effect. Infinite Evolution. Can you evolve skills? In that case, let me try it first and evolve the Latent Shadow skill. Qin Feng tried. He checked and found that evolving the Latent Shadow skill now requires 1 evolution point. When he chooses to evolve, this skill has indeed changed. You have consumed 1 evolution point and have 4 points left. Initial skill: Latent Shadow, inferior right pointing arrow normal. Enters a state of invisibility that lasts 8 right pointing arrow 12 seconds, and will reveal itself when launching an attack. The attack power of breaking invisibility increases by 30 right pointing arrow 60. Cooldown 30 right pointing arrow 28 seconds. The duration of invisibility increased. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. This, coupled with the passive effect of his shadow profession, has reached a 24-second invisibility duration. If keep evolving. You have consumed 2 evolution points and have 2 points left. Initial skill: Latent Shadow, normal right pointing arrow bronze. Enters a state of invisibility that lasts 12 right pointing arrow 16 seconds, and will reveal itself when launching an attack. The attack power of breaking invisibility increases from 60 to 90. Cooldown 28 right pointing arrow 26 seconds. It consumes 2 evolution points, but the effect is significant. The duration of Latent Shadow has been increased to 16 seconds, and when combined with the Shadow Profession passive, it is doubled to 32 seconds. The cooldown time for this skill has exceeded. The Latent Shadow skill starts to cool down after use. Now such a long invisibility duration allows me to achieve unlimited invisibility. Every time I break the invisibility, I will gain an additional 90 points of attack power. Don't underestimate the 90 points of extra attack power. In the early stages of the God Abandonment game, a profession such as a mage, shooter, or warrior would have an attack power of 20 or 30 points. 90 points of attack power is equivalent to several times more damage than others. In addition, the passive of my shadow profession allows me to attack when the opponent has no vision, and the damage will be doubled. These 90 extra attack points are actually equivalent to 180 extra attack points. Qin Feng couldn't help but click his tongue. His combat power in this initial state is already equivalent to his combat power after 1 day of development in his previous life. This is the only hidden profession, plus the top talent effect. The original elementary talent seems to be indeed the top talent. And this talent is called Infinite Evolution. Wouldn't it be possible to keep evolving your skills, and the effects would become more and more incredible? Qin Feng can only say. His time traveler and reborn buffs were fully stacked, and he did not disappoint. In addition, since evolution points can be obtained by killing monsters, Qin Feng does not need to save. Use it if you have it, convert it into combat power, and get the highest profit. Keep evolving. To continue evolving, the Latent Shadow skill requires 3 evolution points. I have 2 o'clock left now. Qin Feng could only choose to evolve the Back Attack Enhancement skill. You have consumed 1 evolution point and have 1 remaining point. Initial skill: Back Attack Enhancement, inferior right pointing arrow ordinary. Passive effect: when attacking from behind the target, the damage is increased by 10%, right pointing arrow 15%. Qin Feng is quite satisfied with the evolutionary effect of Back Attack Enhancement. Although the damage is only increased by 5%, it can be foreseen how powerful this skill will be if it continues to evolve. Career passive damage doubled. If the damage increase of the Backstrike Enhancement is evolved to 100%. That adds up to 4 times the damage. Qin Feng, who has been playing in Shincho game for 9 years and is still in the top 100 in the world, knows very well the effects of skill values. Now, Qin Feng was a little curious. If these skills continue to evolve, won't they surpass the highest immortal level? Take the latent shadow skill as an example. As it continues to evolve, the duration will become longer and longer, and the cooldown will become shorter and shorter. Is it possible to achieve no cooling? If this skill of back attack enhancement continues to evolve, can the damage increase reach 100% or even higher? Qin Feng is looking forward to it. After all, in his previous life, he had never heard of the idea that skills could evolve. Regardless of whether it's equipment or skill books, whatever level comes out of the monster will always be that level, and it can't change. And now, Qin Feng's original talent has completely exceeded common sense. Infinite evolution. From now on, his skills will crush anyone. It's almost ready, you can enter the game. Qin Feng took a look. He has 1 evolution point left. But it takes 3 points to evolve, latent shadow, and 2 points to evolve, backstrike enhancement, so there are no skills for him to evolve for the time being. When he decided to enter the game, a gray-white input box popped up in front of him. Please enter your game code. In the God Abandoned game, each player needs to take a code name, which is similar to a real online game nickname. The nickname cannot be repeated. If it is repeated, a string of numbers will be added after the code name to distinguish it. I'll call you Shadow. Qin Feng raised his hand and wrote these 2 black fonts in the gray-white input box. When he finished writing, the input box disappeared like smoke. Your code name is Shadow. Entering the land abandoned by the gods. The darkness in Qin Feng's eyes gradually dissipated like thick smoke. He gradually developed a sense of being grounded. As the surrounding darkness dissipated, what appeared in front of him was a dilapidated town. It was night, and the town was covered with a layer of moonlight, like a silver gauze, giving the whole town a desolate and dilapidated scene. Qin Feng stood in the central square of this town. In the square, there were several players in black robes, observing the surroundings with confused expressions. As for NPCs, the NPCs in the game God Abandoned are not programmed existences, but intelligent creatures from other civilizations. When dealing with those NPCs, you must be cautious and cautious. Otherwise, you may accidentally lose all your lifespan and regret it. Of course, in this kind of novice town, there are naturally no NPCs. Blue Star players who have just arrived in the land abandoned by the gods have 0 tradable lifespan and are almost worthless to NPCs. Welcome to the land abandoned by the gods. This is a ruined land with countless monsters raging. Please be careful, they are ready to tear you apart at any time and take away your life. Leave the town and kill the monsters, and you will gain tradable lifespan. However, if you die in the game, half of your remaining lifespan, including tradable and non-tradable lifespans, will be deducted. Familiar system prompts reached Qin Feng's mind. If you enter the game for the first time, you may be surprised. But Qin Feng no longer had any mood swings. He just looked at the map. Shell Town. Peaceful area. There are no monsters in this area, and players cannot attack each other. This area is a moderate area, and the lifespan loss rate in the area is 1 times. Sure enough, we changed places. Shell Town. Qin Feng murmured to himself. Because the time of entering the God Abandoned game is different, the place where he descends is also different. In the land abandoned by the gods, there are hundreds of millions of novice towns. The novice town is also commonly known as the safe zone. Each novice town can accommodate up to 1,000 people. After it is full, subsequent players who enter will be assigned to other initial towns. However, the initial town is differentiated based on region and entry time. So, the players in this shell town are also from Daxia Kingdom and Zhonghai City. Qin Feng took a look. Now 127 people have entered Shell Town. Qin Feng is the 128th. Properties panel. Qin Feng read the map information and then checked his own attributes. In the God Abandoned game, properties are crucial. Codename: Shadow. Occupation: Shadow. Grade 1. Non-tradable life: 75 years. Tradable life: 0. Strength: 10 plus 3. Physique: 10 plus 3. Agility: 10 plus 8. Spirit: 10 plus 5. Free attribute points: 5 points. The initial 4-dimensional attributes of all players are 10 points. In parentheses are career bonuses. The shadow profession is indeed a hidden profession. This initial attribute bonus is so high. Qin Feng was shocked. You know, his warrior profession in his previous life only gave him 3 points of strength and 3 points of constitution at the beginning. And the shadow profession, light physique and strength have been increased by 3 points, as well as 8 points of agility and 5 points of spirit. Strength attribute affects physical attack power. Physical attributes affect physical defense and health. Agility attribute affects movement speed, attack speed and skill singing speed. Spiritual attributes affect elemental attack power and elemental resistance. Qin Feng is very clear about the role of each attribute. In the last life, many people chose to add strength or spirit at the beginning to increase physical, magical attack power. But actually, agility is the priority. The monster in God's Abandoned game is extremely powerful. Any mob can easily kill novice players. If you want to ensure survival in the early stage, you must increase your agility. No matter what profession you are, only if you have an advantage in speed can you possibly kill monsters without taking any damage. Many players have a natural misunderstanding that damage is the most important. But you must know that in the God Abandonment game, death will deduct lifespan. There is no need to say more about how important lifespan is. Without the guarantee of speed, in many cases one can only die of despair. As long as you are fast enough, you can advance to attack and retreat to defend. On the contrary, the damage increase brought by adding a little strength in the early stage is a bit dispensable. For me, even more so. The bronze level latent shadow skill has been added with 90 points of stealth breaking attack power, which is equivalent to the effect of 90 points of power. I don't lack damage at all in the early stage, and I don't need to increase my strength. Speed is the only necessity. Qin Feng added all 5 free attribute points to agility. Then he looked at the combat attributes. Health value, 130. Physical attack power, 13 plus 10. Physical defense, 13. Full elemental resistance, 15. For physical attack power, 13 points are the attack power brought by the strength attribute, and the 10 attack power points in brackets are the attributes of the novice short sword, for a total of 23 points. Every player will receive an initial inferior weapon that matches their profession when they first arrive in the land abandoned by the gods. Scrap iron dagger, inferior quality, gray quality. Attack power plus 10. Qin Feng held the scrap iron dagger in his hand and played with it for a while. In his last life, although he was a warrior, he had never used a short sword. Of course, using a weapon that did not match his profession could only bring out 70% of the weapon's effect. It feels okay. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curled up slightly. He looked at his physical attack power column. The attack power is 23 points, which is the starting attribute of most novices. It can be seen from this that the 90-point stealth breaking attack power of the latent shadow skill is so incredible. Qin Feng held the short knife and immediately planned to leave the town to kill monsters and grow them. Whether he wants to upgrade or evolve points, he needs to kill monsters, the more the better. At this time, no one knew that the monster in this God-forsaken game would not stay there and wait for someone to kill it like in ordinary online games. This is the scariest place. In the eyes of monsters, every player who leaves the safe zone town has a walking lifespan. Monsters will actively look for players, and may even form groups to attack and kill players, thereby gaining the player's lifespan. Lifespan is divided into 2 types, tradable and non-tradable. The lifespan that people have is not tradable. I now have 75 years. Lifespan cannot be traded and has only one function, which is to keep people alive. As for tradable life, it has many functions. Not only can people stay alive, but they can also be traded for resources, and they can also be consumed to extract the equipment, skills, etc. from the God-abandoned game into reality. This allows players to have extraordinary strength in reality. Tradable lifespan can only be obtained from monsters in the God-abandoned game. At the same time, the monsters in this game will also keep an eye on our lifespan. As long as we rob the player's lifespan, these monsters will evolve and become stronger. As a reborn person, Qin Feng is very clear about all this. Leaving the town means danger. If you are unlucky, you may even be hunted by hordes of monsters. The player is a hunter. Big mistake. In the God-abandoned game, weak players are just prey. This is why it is difficult for so many people to survive. Not to mention killing monsters and gaining lifespan, they were even killed by monsters countless times and lost all their lifespan. When the monster cannot be killed and the lifespan is lost, they can only wait for their lifespan to reach 0 and then die suddenly. Therefore, in the God abandonment game, monsters can also be regarded as players in another sense. The weak eat the strong, and the fittest survive. Even Qin Feng in his previous life had a very difficult rise. What's more, he brought Qin Xiaoyu with him, who was even more of a dragster. In this life, if I do it alone, my development speed should be much faster. Qin Feng thought. He held a scrap metal short knife and walked towards the outside of the town. Along the way, I saw players in 2s and 3s gathering together. There was a little fat man on the roadside, looking around with a confused expression. Hey, what kind of place is this? What kind of land abandoned by the gods? What profession? What code name? I just went home and lay down after staying up all night, and this happened hallucination. There was a young man wearing glasses next to him, who was also a little confused. I don't know. I also ate chicken all night and just fell asleep. Why are you here? When the little fat man heard this, he immediately smiled. Brother, what kind of chicken are you eating? Let me introduce it to my brother. Qin Feng ignored them completely. It is normal for the first batch of players to enter the God-abandoned game to have such questions. However, suddenly several white rays of light appeared in front of Qin Feng. Swish, swish, swish. A total of 5 figures were reshaped in front of Qin Feng. I almost forgot, this is the resurrection point. Qin Feng was planning to avoid it. As a result, a girl wearing black short sleeves appeared in front of him. It seems that because she just died, the girl's face is a little ugly. Next to her were 3 other men and 1 woman who had reshaped their bodies. They seemed to have formed a team together and had just returned from death in the wild. Obviously, the remaining lifespan of these 5 people has been cut in half. That wild monster is too fierce, isn't it? He's half healthy after just 1 bite. How do you fight him? Isn't it just the most rubbish level 1 crawler? We surrounded it and only managed to defeat 1/3 of its health. We were actually directly wiped out by the group. Sister Lizzie, what should we do now? Several people's eyes were focused on the leader, the girl in black short sleeves. The black short-sleeved girl had a ponytail and held an old long bow in her hand. She looked like an archer. But Qin Feng could tell at a glance that she had a hidden profession. Because for ordinary archers, the initial weapon is a short bow, not a long bow. Because of this, the girl could become the captain of the team and the one giving orders. If you can't beat them, form another group. The pony-tailed girl known as Sister Lizzie looked in the direction of Qin Feng. This eldest brother seems to have a hidden profession. Why don't you invite us to join our team? Let's join together. There is strength in numbers. Anyway, the maximum number of people in the team is 6. We still have 1 more to go. Her judgment was spot on. Because there was an assassin in her team, the initial weapon was different from the scrap iron dagger in Qin Feng's hand. So a soft and long-haired girl came to Qin Feng proactively. Brother, will you form a team with us? The wild monsters outside are very strong and cannot be defeated by 1 person. Our team has already destroyed them once, so we have experience. Quote. Hearing this, Qin Feng wanted to laugh a little. Has experience. Some of them must have experienced death. Qin Feng shook his head, ignored the girl, and walked straight out of the town. This attitude was obviously a rejection of the other party's invitation to form a team. This situation made the faces of Sister Lizzie and the 3 men behind her darken. None of them expected that this man who looked like an assassin would be so disrespectful. The most important thing is that Qin Feng looks like he is leaving the town alone. I'm laughing so hard. We've already told you it's dangerous outside, but this guy still goes out alone. He wants to kill a wild monster that the 5 of us can't defeat alone. Don't be like this, he has a hidden profession, and he's an assassin. Maybe he can escape even if he can't be beaten. A few people talked and laughed. Didn't pay too much attention to it. Only, Sister Lizzie took advantage of Qin Feng's approach and subconsciously checked Qin Feng's information and learned his code name. Code name, Shadow. That's quite a pretense. Sister Lizzie looked at Qin Feng's back and sneered. Let's go and follow him to see how he died. Maybe we can find out the rules of the monster's actions. She waved her hand and led others to follow. It's not that she's interested in how others die, but that this strange place is too weird. She wants to observe others and get more information. Qin Feng came to the border of the town. The boundary is indistinct, just a few damaged and rotten wooden fences. Once you cross it, it is no longer a safe zone. While leaving, Qin Feng discovered that Sister Lizzie was following behind with someone from a distance. Latent image. Qin Feng didn't hesitate and activated the skill directly. In an instant, his figure seemed to blend into the surrounding environment, and he disappeared out of thin air in front of those people. Hey, why is the person gone? Sister Lizzie and the other 5 people were all stunned. Looking left and right, I couldn't find any trace of Qin Feng. The tall male assassin in the team was a little confused. Is this a stealth skill? The initial skill is stealth. What kind of profession is this? Is it so cool? The assassin profession he chose on his own initiative did not have the stealth skill at the beginning. The 5 people searched for a long time but couldn't find Qin Feng, and they didn't dare to leave the safe zone, so they could only retreat to Shell Town angrily. Sister Lizzie said in a deep voice, "It's too dangerous outside. If we die once, our remaining lifespan will be halved. We'd better search the town first to see if there are any opportunities for improvement." The soft, long-haired girl's eyes lit up. Yes, yes. Let's go look for treasure chests, NPCs, etc. first. The tall male assassin had a good attitude and said with a smile, "Look at how nervous you all are. Although this God-forsaken game is a bit strange, it is absolutely impossible to say that it can affect our lifespan. In my opinion, since we are resurrected, we can just go out and kill the crawler." Another male soldier said, "I also feel that after finally getting nearly half of the blood, I am afraid that I am taking advantage of that kid just now." Sister Lizzie smiled disdainfully. "With the output of the 5 of us, we barely managed to defeat the creeper with less than half of its health. He can only survive by being invisible. He still wants to kill the creeper. What are you dreaming about?" Qin Feng certainly didn't know about the choices of Sister Lizzie and others. Even if he knew, Qin Feng wouldn't take it to heart. Because in the initial town, there will be nothing that will help improve your strength. It just provides players with a safe place to rest. At this time, Qin Feng released his latent shadow skill and walked on the dark scorched earth. After turning invisible, the sound of walking, breathing, heartbeat, all will be eliminated. Except for the collision volume, everything else is the same as if this person does not exist. There is only one way to see invisible units. That is the anti-stealth skill. Of course, Qin Feng's professional shadow comes with +1 stealth level. It is impossible for any players or even wild monsters to detect his invisibility in the early stage. Soon, Qin Feng left the town and walked more than 100 meters to a sparse forest. In the distance, I saw the dark silhouette of a creeper, resting in the woods. Creeper LV1. Level: Ordinary, in progress. This thing just killed those 5 players and is digesting their lifespan. Qin Feng narrowed his eyes. He had seen this kind of thing a lot in his previous life. It takes time for monsters to advance after hunting for the player's lifespan. The crawler in front of him is obviously very greedy. After hunting 5 players, I was able to find a safe place to advance first, but it still stayed here, obviously wanting to kill more. In that case, spit out your lifespan to me. Qin Feng found a hidden corner. When the invisibility time is over, the latent shadow is released again, and the connection between the 2 invisibility is completely seamless. Qin Feng held a scrap metal short knife and quietly approached the crawler. Being so close, he could even smell the rotting smell of the crawlers, which was unpleasant. The outline of the black figure gradually became clearer. It turned out to be a faceless man with gray skin and long and thin limbs. He was lying next to a tree, with gray-white mist lingering around his body. The gray mist is the visual state of lifespan. It represents that this crawler is consuming its lifespan and trying to advance. The lifespan that has not had time to be digested by the monster will be converted into loot and exploded according to a certain proportion after the monster dies. Qin Feng did not hesitate. Remain invisible, come behind the crawler, and take action instantly. The scrap iron dagger appeared from the darkness, turned into a bit of cold light, and landed accurately on the back of the crawler's neck. The back neck is one of the crawler's weaknesses. As long as the weak point is hit, the damage will be increased by 50%, which is 1.5 times the damage. Minus 372 weak point attack. With just one stab, gray-white blood flowed out from the back of the crawler's neck, and he instantly collapsed to the ground. This shadow profession is too powerful. Qin Feng himself was shocked. But he knew very well that this was not just the reason for the shadow profession. Most of his damage comes from the skill, Latent Shadow, that has evolved twice. The 90 points of additional attack power doubled his damage by 2 or 3 times. If it were just the inferior, Latent Shadow, skill from the beginning, the damage would not even be half of what it is now. You killed the crawler LV1. You have gained 10 experience points. In addition, on the body of the crawler, there is gray-white mist condensed into a fist-sized ball of light, which is a visual lifespan and can be picked up. Qin Feng reached out and held the gray mist in his hand. You gain 3 days of life tradable. You gain a lifespan of 54 years and 155 days not tradable. The system prompt came and Qin Feng shook his head. 5 of them were killed. Each of them lost at least 20 or 30 years of life. The total lifespan must be more than 100 years. It took a turn from the crawler, and it was only 54 years old. But it doesn't matter. Lifespan cannot be traded. It is of no use for the time being. Qin Feng knew this very well. As long as a person is alive, untradable lifespan will be consumed every second, and it has no other effect for the time being. Only tradable lifespan is the key. Consuming tradable lifespan, you can extract equipment, skills, and professions into reality. But killing a little monster only gives you 3 days of tradable life, which is too little. I can't extract any equipment skills at all. Keep looking for monsters. Qin Feng didn't think for long. Around his body, there was gray-white mist, which was gradually absorbed by him. Then he reached out and picked up 2 more trophies from under the crawler's corpse. 1 piece of equipment and 1 skill book. Rotten leather boots, low quality, gray quality. Physical defense +3, movement speed +5%. Equipment requirements, level 1. Skill book ice cone technique, normal, white quality. Mage skill book, learning needs, level 1. Creepers are level 1 common monsters. The loot dropped after killing has a high probability of being of poor quality, and a small probability of being ordinary. If you lose 2 at a time, you're pretty lucky. It's a pity that it doesn't have much effect on me. Qin Feng put on his rotten leather boots. He was a little pity. This monster didn't provide him with evolution points, and it wasn't enough for him to level up. Qin Feng could only continue to lurk and walk towards the depths of the woods. At this moment, other players began to go out to explore in Shell Town. Some of them formed small teams, and some were newborn calves who were not afraid of tigers, and 1 or 2 people ran out. Not long after, a young couple came to the place where Qin Feng had just killed the crawler and saw the crawler's body at a glance. Someone killed monsters here. It seems like this game isn't difficult at all, so I just say you don't have to be so nervous, haha. Xiaoya, look at it. If a monster comes out soon, I will lead you to kill them. However, the couple did not discover. On the tree above their heads, a huge black shadow appeared. The man's name is Niu Gang and the woman's name is Guan Xiaoya. It can be seen that Niu Gang is a warrior and Guan Xiaoya is a priest, a very common teacup combination. Just like Qin Feng and Qin Xiaoyu in the previous life. At this time, Niu Gang was talking eloquently. This young man is 1.8 meters tall and has a tall and strong build. He does seem to have a sense of security as he walks in front carelessly. As for Guan Xiaoya, in fact, it's not small at all. Even stronger than Niu Gang. He was holding a low-quality priest's scepter in his hand and was looking around vigilantly. Sudden, the sound of whirring wind came from above the 2 of them. The 2 of them were alert and immediately raised their heads. Before they could see anything clearly, they were entangled in 2 tough white spider threads and tied to a big tree nearby. A 2.5 meter tall jet black spider with 100 eyes slowly descended along a piece of white spider silk. What is this? Ah, spider. Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya were so frightened that they screamed. Nurturer LV1. Grade: Bronze. Not an ordinary monster, but a bronze-level mini-boss. This is very attractive to Qin Feng. As long as he kills boss-level monsters, he can 100% gain evolution points. At this time, Qin Feng was hiding in the shadows on the side. Bronze-level nurse, blood volume is around 1500-2000. It's not something that ordinary newcomers can compete with. No matter how many people come, they will die. The most important thing is, there should be many little spiders under this little boss. Qin Feng watched coldly. He had absolutely no intention of rescuing anyone. At this moment, there was a sound of thrust coming from the surrounding trees. Immediately afterwards, there was a group of small black spiders, following the spider webs in the woods, quickly approaching Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya. Nurturer Spider LV1. Grade: Ordinary. These are the descendants of the bronze-level monster, Nurturer. Each spider has legs nearly 1 meter long and 4 pairs of compound eyes on its forehead. Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya were soon targeted by more than a dozen little spiders. That Niu Gang was still bragging just now, saying that he was very powerful. As a result, by this time, my legs were completely weak. Both he and Guan Xiaoya were entangled in spider webs and were temporarily unable to move. With their low levels and low attributes, it would take them a long time to break free. Watching helplessly, those little spiders crawled in front of them and bit them. Ah! Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya both screamed together. A series of damage figures appeared one after another from above their heads. In just a few moments, both of them were dead. The burst of lifespan turned into a ball of gray-white light, which was surrounded by a dozen little spiders, eating and absorbing it. At this time, a flash of cold light flashed. Qin Feng's agile figure flashed across the big eyes of the bronze-level nurturer in an instant. -338 Weakness Attack. Suddenly hit hard, the bronze-level nurturer's hundreds of compound eyes instantly focused on Qin Feng. However, before it could spit out the spider silk, Qin Feng's figure had quietly disappeared and completely disappeared from its front. Quote? The bronze-level nurturer seemed stunned. The surrounding little spiders who were sharing their lifespans were not affected and continued to compete for the lifespan of the couple. Until 26 seconds later. Qin Feng's latent shadow skill has finished cooling down. He appeared in the other direction of the breeder, and the scrap iron dagger took action again, launching a weak attack on one of the eyes of the huge monster. -338 Weakness Attack. Qin Feng disappeared again. It can be seen that the nurse's health bar is still a little more than half. We need to attack 3 more times. After Qin Feng succeeded in this attack, he retreated far away. As expected, the nurse was attacked twice in succession and could not find the attacker. He became so angry that he began to spit out spider silk in all directions. With this kind of large-scale attack method, even a team of 6 players is likely to be wiped out on the spot. But Qin Feng was well prepared and was completely unscathed. After the latent shadow skill cooled down, he returned to the breeder again. At this time, the bronze-level little boss was already a little irritable and was twisting his body to prevent being attacked. Unfortunately, its weaknesses are too obvious. Qin Feng held a scrap iron short blade in his hand and took action again. -338 Weakness Attack. Another cut, and the nurse's blood volume dropped further. Qin Feng succeeded with one blow and became invisible again. This style of play can be called a rogue type of play. But these monsters are all intelligent and cannot stay where they are and get beaten. When only 1/3 of the health bar was left, the bronze-level nurse jumped and climbed to a nearby tree. There are still 2 final attacks left. Qin Feng was calm and unhurried. After the latent shadow skill cooled down, he picked up a small stone on the ground. In the God-abandoned game, everything on the map has attributes. For example, the fist-sized stone in his hand has 2 points of physical attack power. Qin Feng found an angle and threw the stone towards the boss. Boom! The stone hit the nurse's soft belly. -279 Weakness Attack. Because Qin Feng's main source of damage is the hidden shadow's additional attack. So even if the stone is thrown and hits the enemy, the damage will be ridiculously high. With one successful blow, Qin Feng became invisible again. The nurse was already anxious, running quickly through the trees, trying to escape. At the same time, the dozen spiders have eaten up the lifespan of the couple players, and are looking for Qin Feng's location everywhere. It's a pity that they haven't found Qin Feng yet. Qin Feng had already appeared more than 20 meters away. Another small stone was thrown towards the fleeing breeder. This bronze-level boss is not very strong, nor is it fast. It is mainly large, so Qin Feng's attacks are easy to hit. -279 Weakness Attack. You killed the Nurturer, bronze level. You have gained 300 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 2. Congratulations on getting 2 evolution points. Congratulations on opening the Shell Town level ranking list, you have gained 1 reputation point. At the same time, a system prompt also sounded in the minds of all players in Shell Town. Player, Shadow, kills Nurturer, bronze level, and is the first to reach level 2. The Shell Town level ranking list is now open. At this time, there are already more than 300 players in Shell Town. These players are all from Zhonghai City. Because it was morning, these players were all in their 20s and 30s. There are almost no old people or children. They were all surprised at first. They were obviously just asleep. How could they come to such a strange place? As a result, I suddenly heard this system prompt. Sister Lizzie and others who were searching in the town, as well as Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya, who had just been killed and returned to the town, were all shocked. Sister Lizzie's codename is Yali. She and the 4 members of her team were searching everywhere in the town, not intending to miss any corner. Unfortunately, nothing has been gained. At this time, Qin Feng rose to level 2, and the system prompt to open the town level rankings came, making all 5 members of the Yali team look stunned. What's going on? Sister Lizzie, is this Shadow the guy who just went out alone? It seems, he has reached level 2 so soon. Isn't the most important thing that he killed a bronze level mini-boss? Our team can't even kill ordinary mobs, but he can kill the bronze boss alone. Are you kidding me? But this system prompt is correct. Did he form a team after going out? No, look at the rankings. He is the only one on the rankings. On the ranking list of Shell Town, there is currently only one name named Shadow, standing alone on it. This made the 5 Yali people unbelievable. This. Sister Lizzie was holding a long bow and was stunned on the spot. She has experienced this strange game and how strong the monsters outside are. 5 people went out in a team, and were violently killed by a level 1 ordinary mob. They didn't even knock out half of the monster's health. But now, the Shadow, who she thought was out to seek death, actually killed a bronze level boss alone. This unscientific. Sister Lizzie is a little doubtful about life. Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya were just resurrected in the middle of the town. The system prompts them that their lifespan has been deducted in half. Originally there were still 40 or 50 years left, but now there are only more than 20 years left. This made them look a bit ugly. Guan Xiaoya's face turned a little pale. Niu Gang, you said this lifespan deduction is true. Niu Gang shook his head vigorously. Impossible. How can there be such a mysterious thing in this world? Guan Xiaoya looked complicated. But we have just fallen asleep. Why did we come to this place together? This is obviously not a dream. If it is a game, then this game is too real. Niu Gang was also a little unsure. At this time, the reminder about Qin Feng killing the Nurturer and rising to level 2 rang in the minds of the couple. They were immediately surprised. What happened? The big spider that was 2.5 meters tall just now was killed. Who is this Shadow? Can he kill that big spider? It's impossible. There are more than a dozen small spiders under that big spider's hand. Niu Gang and Guan Xiaoya suddenly doubted their lives. In front of the big spider, they were powerless to fight back. But the Shadow actually killed it directly. And seeing that there was only one solitary Shadow on the ranking list, the 2 of them had to guess that the Shadow who killed the breeder was probably a solo kill. This made them even more shocked. There are more and more players coming to the land abandoned by the gods because they fell asleep. The number of players in Shell Town soon reached 500. The town square is already full of new players wearing black robes. There are new players, and they catch them and ask them what's going on. Unfortunately, no one can answer this question. Most people are confused. But there are also some players who realize that things are not simple. There was a young man with dyed blonde hair, waving and shouting in the square. Everyone, we all fell asleep and came to this so-called land abandoned by the gods. We can't leave the game now. According to the prompts, we will gain lifespan by killing monsters, and our lifespan will be halved if we die. Whether it's true or not, let's be on the safe side and don't let anyone go out alone. Many players have been killed by monsters outside and lost their lifespan. I suggest we form a team and go out exploring together, it will be safer. Brothers and sisters who want to go out with me now, please come to me to sign up and register your profession. Some people listened to what this blonde young man said, but some people were too lazy to listen. At the other exit of the town, 3 men and 3 women had formed a team. The leader is a burly man, capable and powerful. His name is Wang Meng. Wang Meng looked at the central square of the town from a distance, listening to the faint shouts of the blonde young man, but didn't pay attention. He said to the 5 people around him, "Now we would rather believe that this God-forsaken game exists than that it does not exist. Treat it as a normal game first, go out and explore, as long as you can kill monsters and upgrade, it will not be of any use to us, harm. As for lifespan, everyone just needs to be careful not to die. I am the Holy Shield Warrior. I have an invincible skill at the beginning that can block damage for you. You just have to do your best to deal damage." Wang Meng's teammates are all hidden professions selected through Wang Meng's observation. Such a combination is definitely strong enough. At the same time, in Shell Town, there are some internet-addicted teenagers who usually work together to score points. Now we are entering the game of God abandonment together. Hell, wouldn't the emergence of this game allow us to flex our muscles? Go, go, go. We may not be good compared to others, but compared to games, hey, who can compare to us 5 brothers? In this God-forsaken game, a team can have up to 6 people. Are we still missing one person? Let's find a beautiful sister. Don't we just need a nanny? Not just a shell town. There are now thousands of towns, and more players are gathering together. They are all humans who fell asleep at this time, and their consciousness was sent to the place abandoned by the gods. Whether it's Daxia, North America, or the West. When people first enter the God abandonment game, they are basically confused. Some of the players have begun to treat it with caution, with an attitude of preferring to believe it. Many strong people actually have already widened the gap with others when they first started. For example, Qin Feng now. Open the ranking list at level 2 and gain 1 reputation point. Qin Feng glanced at the system prompts and didn't pay much attention. Of course, the more reputation, the better. In the later stage, you can use your reputation to purchase high-end props from NPCs. At this time, Qin Feng stood in front of the body of the bronze level nurturer, invisibly, preparing to harvest. The first is lifespan. Qin Feng stretched out his hand and inhaled the gray-white light ball floating on the big spider's corpse. You gain 46 days of life tradable. One little boss can equal the lifespan gain of more than a dozen ordinary monsters. Under normal circumstances, this boss requires several full squads to work together to deal with it. If the lifespan is divided evenly, each person will not have much. But when Qin Feng kills the boss alone, he will gain a lot of money. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng took out 3 trophies from under the boss's body. One of the skill books made Qin Feng's eyes light up. This is happening. Skill book Hand of Greed Bronze Assassin Skill Book. After learning, it can be used on monster corpses, and there is a 20% chance of receiving an additional loot reward. Learning needs. Level 1. 20% probability doesn't seem high. But the key is, Qin Feng can evolve this skill. In addition to this skill book, this bronze level boss also exploded 2 pieces of equipment. Qin Feng did not check the equipment for the time being. I originally had 1 evolution point left, but this boss gave me 2 points, for a total of 3 points. This new skill can evolve twice. Every time I kill a monster in the future, I will have a higher chance of getting an extra loot. Qin Feng knew that he had taken off. Because the skill, Hand of Greed, is a rare skill, and the highest it can only be is bronze level. In the previous life, anyone who learned this skill could become an important member of the guild and have a transcendent status. Just imagine, people have gone through a lot of hard work and finally killed a boss. As long as they use greedy hands, it is possible for the boss to drop an additional reward. What is this concept? The most important thing is that the loot mentioned in this skill includes tradable lifespan. I just don't know, does it include evolution points? Strictly speaking, evolution points are also Qin Feng's trophies for killing the boss. So Qin Feng was a little curious. No matter what, let's evolve the skills first, and then we'll know after trying it, right? Qin Feng gave the order to evolve. You have consumed 1 evolution point and have 2 points left. Hand of Greed, bronze, right pointing arrow, silver, assassin skill. Can be used on monster corpses, with a 20% right pointing arrow, 40% chance of receiving an additional loot reward. The probability is directly doubled. The evolutionary effect of this skill made Qin Feng's eyes light up. Continue. There are still 2 evolution points, all of which are consumed. You have consumed 2 evolution points and have 0 points remaining. Hand of Greed, silver, right pointing arrow, gold, assassin skills. Can be used on monster corpses, with a 40% right pointing arrow, 70% probability of receiving an additional loot reward. From silver to gold, the skill effect is greatly improved. The probability has increased from 40% to 70%. Then if you evolve again, wouldn't it be 100%? Qin Feng's heart beat a little faster. In the God Abandonment game, this skill is only available at bronze level. But Qin Feng can infinitely improve its effect through the original elementary talent and infinite evolution. When I kill monsters from now on, I can 100% get double rewards. Even more than double. Qin Feng did not hesitate. He still remained invisible, aimed at the body of the nurturer in front of him, and released the Hand of Greed skill. There were a total of 12 child spiders surrounding the boss's body, but they had no idea that Qin Feng was right next to him. As his skills are released, a big golden hand stretched out from the soil and grabbed the corpse of the nurturer. The skill, Hand of Greed, was determined successfully. You have gained 2 evolution points. You gain 46 days of life tradable. At the same time as the system prompt came, 3 more trophies exploded under the body of the breeder. Success. 70% success rate. Don't lie to me. Fortunately, it's not Mahuateng's game. Qin Feng smiled with satisfaction. 2 evolution points and 46 days of tradable life are both crucial. As for the loot that was revealed, it was not that important to Qin Feng. Because the boss exploded 6 pieces of loot, except for the Hand of Greed skill book and an assassin's weapon, the other 4 were not usable by Qin Feng. Things from other professions can be sold back to the town when the time comes. But, at this stage, no one can afford it, right? Qin Feng shook his head. The trading currency of the God Abandoned game is tradable lifespan. Now that the game has just started, there are very few people who can afford the price. He looked at the assassin's weapon. Corrosion dagger, bronze, attack power plus 3/5, agility plus 4. Equipment requirements, level 1. Nothing to say, just replace the scrap metal short blade. Originally, Qin Feng upgraded to level 2, gained 2 points of all attributes, and increased his attack power to 25 points. After replacing the corrosive short sword, Qin Feng's attack power increased from 25 points to 50 points. Directly doubled. Of course, Qin Feng's damage did not double. Because the largest part of his damage composition is the additional stealth breaking attack from the Latent Shadow skill. The other 4 trophies include 3 pieces of equipment and a skill book, but they are not bronze level, but ordinary level. Start clearing the mobs. I hope I can get some evolution points. Next to the body of the nurse, there were 12 spiders, and Qin Feng did not intend to let them go. When he emerged from the shadows, he slashed a knife through the abdomen of a spider and killed it with 1 blow. When the other spiders reacted, Qin Feng's figure had disappeared again. With unlimited stealth ability, Qin Feng does not need to consider survivability in the early stage. Just as Qin Feng started to clear monsters. Blue Star, the real world. Daxia, Zhonghai Normal University. Qin Xiaoyu and her best friend Chu Yan were in class in the classroom. Suddenly, an unusual situation in the classroom attracted everyone's attention. I saw a boy in the class lying on the table and falling asleep. When he falls asleep, his body turned into a translucent virtual state. Oh no, Brother Wei, what's wrong with you, Brother Wei? The roommate next to him suddenly noticed the change in the boy's condition and was shocked. The roommate's scream also attracted the attention of the whole class. The middle-aged Mediterranean teacher who was giving a passionate lecture also stopped his lecture and glanced at the boy with confusion on his face. Many people gathered over and marveled. Roommates and teachers soon tried to reach out and actually passed through the boy's body. It's as if the boy doesn't exist at all. Such a scene made the whole class gasp, looking shocked and nervous. Xiaoyu, what do you think is going on over there with Zhang Wei? Chu Yan, a girl with short hair, pulled Qin Xiaoyu to look at the seats a few rows ahead on the right, her beautiful eyes a little nervous. Qin Xiaoyu frowned. Wearing a long white dress, she looks pure and flawless. Because of her good looks, she has many suitors in the school. This is one of the reasons why she thinks so highly of herself. After all, she licks a lot. At this time, Qin Xiaoyu's front right side was already surrounded by people. She could only stand up, her movements gentle and graceful. Unfortunately, she was not tall enough. It was not until she stood on tiptoes that she finally saw a boy lying on the table and falling asleep on the right front seat, his body turning into a translucent illusory state. Check online. Qin Xiaoyu sat back in his seat, took out his phone, and immediately started searching. Soon, she found some chat records forwarded by other groups from some chat groups, as well as some pictures. In those pictures, there are people sleeping. The state is the same as that of the boy sleeping on his stomach. Countless speculations have been spread on the internet, but since no one has woken up from sleep yet, no one knows what happened. The classroom suddenly became chaotic. The middle-aged Mediterranean teacher shouted loudly, "Students, this Z class will be sang here Z first. Teacher, C first communicate with the school leaders." After saying this, the teacher hurriedly left the classroom and prepared to call to find out the situation. The students in the classroom were talking and whispering. They all took out their mobile phones to take photos and upload them. Chatting lively on the internet. Qin Xiaoyu and Chu Yan did not participate in the discussion. They sat in their original seats and quickly scrolled through their phones. Soon, Qin Xiaoyu frowned slightly. It seems that this is a phenomenon all over the world. Especially in some countries, it is night and there are many people sleeping. As long as they fall asleep, they will become like this. Chu Yan was a little worried. What is going on? I have to contact my parents. Xiaoyu, why don't you ask your brother if he has encountered anything? Qin Xiaoyu shook his head and said coldly, I will not take the initiative to contact him. Chu Yan was helpless. But now that something like this has happened, there is no need to quarrel with your relatives anymore, right? Qin Xiaoyu chuckled. Fellow. He only cares about me. Is this considered a relative? Anyway, I am too lazy to care about him unless he takes the initiative to apologize to me. If Qin Feng saw this scene, he would probably want to laugh. In the last life, Qin Xiaoyu had exactly this attitude. She didn't just take the initiative to contact Qin Feng. Even when Qin Feng sent her a text message, she didn't reply, and she didn't answer the phone call. Until the evening, Qin Feng came to the school in person to find her, begged for peace and apologized to her, and then took her home like an ancestor, and entered the God's abandonment game with her. But this life is completely different. She didn't want to contact Qin Feng. It is even more impossible for Qin Feng to take the initiative to contact her. In Qin Feng's eyes, the sister he had taken care of for more than 10 years no longer existed. She dug out Qin Feng's eyes with her own hands. It is impossible for Qin Feng to recognize her as his sister again. Bizarre phenomena continued to occur all over the world. After research, officials from various countries quickly issued a statement that as long as people fall asleep, they will enter a translucent illusory state. The reason is not yet known. They called on people to try not to fall asleep and wait for expert research. So far, none of the sleeping people have woken up. So people outside have no idea what's going on. And in the place abandoned by the gods. In small towns, after falling asleep, many players who entered the gods' abandonment game began to take action. They formed a team and started going out to kill monsters. It's the first time I enter the gods' abandonment game. If I want to log out, there is a prerequisite, that is to reach level 3. Qin Feng kept killing in the dark woods. In the God Abandoned game, leveling up is very difficult. It is almost impossible to do it alone in the early stage. If you form a team, the experience and tradable lifespan will be equally divided, so upgrading will not be fast. In Shell Town, it wasn't until the 20th minute after Qin Feng opened the ranking list that someone else finally reached level 2. It was an elite hidden professional team led by a man codenamed Wang Meng. 6 people reached level 2 at the same time, occupying Shell Town, 2nd to 7th on the level ranking list. As for the golden-haired young man, he took dozens of players out to hunt monsters, but soon they discovered a terrifying thing. They gathered together, and no monster dared to come close. No matter what kind of monster it was, when they saw this group of players from a distance, they all turned around and ran away. As a result, this group of people gained nothing at all. The only gain may be that they became familiar with the terrain outside the town. I finally have 3 evolution points. When Qin Feng killed a level 1 crawler with 1 strike, he heard the system prompt and his eyes finally lit up. Just now, he killed the little spiders around the nurse one by one. The 12 sub-spiders only gave him 2 evolution points, one of which was obtained with the greedy hand. It can be seen that if you don't encounter a boss, it is very difficult to obtain evolution points by killing mobs. After killing those little spiders, he looked around for other monsters. Because he always remained invisible, Qin Feng came and went like the wind in the dark woods. 5 more level 1 crawlers were quickly killed. At this time, the 5th crawler he hacked to death finally gave him another evolution point. It's time to evolve. Qin Feng opened the properties panel. Continue to evolve. Hand of Greed. You have consumed 3 evolution points and have 0 points remaining. Hand of Greed, Gold Right Pointing Arrow Platinum, Assassin Skills. Can be used on monster corpses, with a 70% right pointing arrow 110% probability of receiving an additional loot reward. The evolutionary effect completely exceeded expectations. Qin Feng knows that in the God Abandonment game, the probability of exceeding 100% will also take effect. The 110% probability of Greedy Hand means that there is a 100% chance of getting an additional loot, and there is a 10% probability of getting another loot, which is the 3rd loot. Very good. After the evolution was completed, Qin Feng released his greedy hand towards the crawler corpse in front of him. The skill, Hand of Greed, was determined successfully. You have gained 1 evolution point. You have gained 1 evolution point. You gain 3 days of life tradable. You gain 3 days of life tradable. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. This move directly triggered the 10%, allowing him to obtain 2 additional rewards. Invincible. Qin Feng was shocked. He doesn't plan to use these 2 evolution points for the time being. The 4th time the same skill evolves, it actually requires 5 evolution points instead of 4. It seems that the required evolution points are not an arithmetic sequence. As for the specific rules, we will know after evolving Greedy Hand again. Qin Feng has no shortage of damage or survival for the time being. Even if he encounters a boss, he can deal with it relatively easily. Prioritize the evolution of all profitable skills that will allow him to develop faster. Greedy Hand is the best choice. Qin Feng checked it. My tradable lifespan now is 146 days. But to extract the equipment and skills into reality, the tradable lifespan will be at least 2.5 years. 900 days to be exact. In addition, you must first reach level 10. Qin Feng remained invisible and continued to walk through the woods. Suddenly, he felt the sound of fighting ahead. Qin Feng felt happy as he quietly approached. Because what appeared in front of him was another bronze level boss, and it was also a level 2 monster. Sprinter LV2. Grade: Bronze. It was a humanoid reptilian creature with 6 legs. Like a crawler, it had no eyes on its head, but had a rotten mouth. It used 6 legs at the same time and moved extremely fast. At least twice as many as new players. New players will be very unlucky when encountering this boss, as there is no chance of escape. As for killing the sprinter, it is more difficult than killing the breeder. Chapter 11. When Qin Feng saw the sprinter, he subconsciously glanced at his own agility. Due to the professional bonus of Shadow and the agility bonus of the bronze level, corrosive short sword, Qin Feng's current agility attribute has reached 34 points. In the God Abandoned game, doubling the agility does not mean doubling the movement speed. Instead, there is a correlation calculation formula. The initial agility is 10 points, and the normal movement speed is about 3 meters per second. When running at full strength, it can reach 9.5 meters per second. I currently have 34 agility points, my normal movement speed is 5.83 meters per second, and my full running speed is 17 to 18 meters per second. Now Qin Feng's speed is almost twice that of some new players. Even so, it's just about the same speed as the sprinter. Enough. If you can catch up with the runner, you don't have to worry about it escaping. Qin Feng hid in the shadows and looked forward. It was discovered that the sprinter was chasing a team of players. The leader of the team was a burly man holding an inferior shield. He was resisting the runner's attack while retreating. This strong man is the second-ranked player in Shell Town, codenamed Wang Meng. Behind him, there were 5 players with hidden professions, using their skills to attack the sprinters with solemn expressions. Pity. Regardless of whether it is a shooter or a mage, it is difficult for those 2 long-range professions, one male and one female, to hit the sprinter with their attacks. The sprinters rushed left and right, relying on their rotten claws and fangs, and soon the blood volume of Wang Meng, who was in the Holy Shield fight profession, dropped to half. You know, the basic frankness of Holy Shield war is very high. HP and defense are both more than 30% higher than other novice players. Wang Meng was the one who supported the whole team in the process of upgrading to level 2, and they never encountered any dangerous situations. But now, facing this bronze-level boss sprinter, Wang Meng obviously couldn't stand it anymore. On the other hand, the sprinter still has at least 90% of his health. At this time, the young, sharp-eye shooter in Wang Meng's team failed to attack twice more, and his face was very ugly. No, this boss is too fast, and it is difficult to hit with long-range attacks. Wang Meng kept calm. Just keep attacking. If you can't kill him, you can wear down the blood, revive him and kill him again. Unfortunately, Wang Meng's plan was a bit too optimistic. As the battle reached a stalemate, other monsters appeared in the woods nearby. Polluter LV2. Grade: Ordinary. This is a level 2 ordinary monster, also in humanoid form, but covered with dark brown sludge. It is a long-range attack monster. In the woods, 3 polluters appeared and launched a sludge attack directly at the back row of Wang Meng's team. Puff! A beautiful girl with a great figure holding a staff was suddenly hit in the chest by a ball of mud. This heavy blow caused the black robe on her chest to tremble violently. -32. Ah, bah, it smells so bad. The beautiful girl felt a stench blowing towards her face, making her feel extremely sick. And this is just the beginning. Balls of sludge began to be thrown towards the back row of the team very quickly. The sludge's trajectory was very fast, making it impossible for them to dodge. The key is, there is also a bronze-level boss, sprinter, in front of them. If they run around to avoid long-range attacks, Wang Meng won't be able to block the sprinters for them. Once they are attacked by the sprinters, they will die in a few seconds. For a time, Wang Meng and 6 others were in danger. The whole team's blood volume dropped rapidly. Wang Meng. Qin Feng squinted his eyes and observed the team. To be honest, he knew this person. Of course, not now. But before rebirth. At that time, Qin Feng was one of the top 100 warriors in the world. Although he was at the bottom of the top 100, he was only an ordinary warrior after all. Being able to achieve this achievement with an ordinary profession is already a legend. Countless people regard Qin Feng as their idol. Among them is Wang Meng. After all, Wang Menganai has a hidden profession, Holy Shield fighter. In terms of professional bonuses and skills, he is much stronger than Qin Feng, an ordinary warrior. But Wang Meng's combat power was not as good as Qin Feng's. This made him very convinced of Qin Feng. As for the 2 parties' acquaintance, it was because Wang Meng was the person in charge of the cooperation with the God-slaying guild founded by Qin Feng on behalf of Daxia officials. Qin Feng usually obtains excess equipment and skill books. If the guild does not use them internally, he will give them to Wang Meng and sell them to Daxia officials in exchange for tradable lifespan. In my last life, I formed a guild to better protect Qin Xiaoyu. In this life, there is no need for it. It's just that Wang Meng is someone we can still make friends with. Qin Feng now plans to convert all excess equipment and skill books into tradable lifespans to improve himself. Then, it is important to find a stable sales channel. Wang Meng is relatively reliable, and the Daxia official behind him also has sufficient financial resources. We have to kill these monsters anyway. In that case, let's help him first. Qin Feng did not intend to make friends with the other party suddenly. Just leave an impression on the other person first. He observed the situation and quickly came to the back of one of the polluters. Launch a sudden surprise attack. The polluter was frantically throwing sludge at the beautiful girl holding the staff, completely unaware that there was an assassin behind it. The corroded short knife turned into a bit of cold light and landed on the back of the polluter's neck. -441 weakness attack. A fatal blow. This polluter instantly turned into a puddle of mud and scattered on the charred land. You killed the polluter LV2. You have gained 20 experience points. You have gained 1 evolution point. You gain 4 days of life tradable. The system prompts in his mind surprised Qin Feng. This monster can give evolution points, so he is lucky. Release the Hand of Greed at will. The skill, Hand of Greed, was determined successfully. You gain 4 days of life tradable. It's a pity that there are no evolution points. The probability of ordinary mobs giving evolution points is not high. The additional reward of Greedy Hand is an additional drop, which is equivalent to Qin Feng killing the same monster again, rather than copying a reward. So it's normal not to give evolution points. Only by killing the boss can you gain stable evolution points. Qin Feng killed a polluter and was not in a hurry. Before the monsters and players in the field could react, he had already entered the invisible state again. Seeing a polluter suddenly turned into mud and fell down, Wang Meng and others looked stunned. They only saw a black figure, and as soon as it flashed by, the polluter fell to the ground instantly. How can this be? Even if it's a level 1 crawler, we have to besiege it for more than 10 seconds to kill it. This level 2 polluter was actually killed instantly. For a moment, all 6 members of Wang Meng's team were shocked. 1 defiler was killed. The pressure on Wang Meng and the others in the back row suddenly became much lighter. The beautiful girl holding the staff had excitement in her beautiful eyes. A big boss is here to help us. Could it be the shadow on the ranking list? In fact, it's hard to tell whether this girl is pretty now. Her body and face are covered in mud, and there's not much blood left. Only her figure is still so hot that people can't help but look at her more. Her slender legs kept moving flexibly, looking lively and elastic. Hold on to. Wang Meng's skills have been cooled down. Release skills with a solemn look, holy barrier. Golden light enveloped his burly body, allowing him to enter an invincible state that lasted 3 seconds, allowing him to survive the sprinter's grasp for a moment longer. Others also have room to dodge. Without 1 defiler, the long-range threat is much smaller. Nearly half a minute later, Qin Feng appeared behind another polluter again. Take action instantly without warning. Kill the polluter instantly again. No evolution points. The Hand of Greed. Hey, did you explode a skill book? Qin Feng conveniently picked up the skill book exploded by the defiler. He checked the skill book in his backpack. Poison Dart Normal Assassin Skill. Throws a poisonous dart with a maximum range of 12 meters. When hitting, it will add 40 points of attack damage and add the Poison status. Cool down for 5 seconds. Learning needs. Level 2. Poison. Causes 30% attack power damage every second. No weakness bonus. Lasts for 5 seconds. Cannot be superimposed. Finally, there is an attack skill, and it is a mid-range, continuous damage skill. Even for ordinary players, if they learn a skill like this in the early stage, their development speed will increase linearly. Only, the probability of ordinary monsters dropping skill books is very low. Qin Feng killed so many ordinary monsters and only exploded the skill book twice. Once, the first crawler exploded the ice cone technique of this legal system. And this time, it was done by Greedy Hands. Equipment and skill book, boss has a higher explosion rate. But for ordinary players, without the foundation of equipment and skills, it is impossible to kill boss, even the weakest bronze level boss. Qin Feng thought in his heart. He didn't hesitate. He still had 3 evolution points and evolved 2 poisonous darts. Poison darts normal right pointing arrow bronze right pointing arrow silver assassin skill. Throws a poisonous dart with a maximum range of 12 right pointing arrow 13 right pointing arrow 14 meters. When hitting, it will add 40 right pointing arrow 80 right pointing arrow 120 points of attack damage, and it will also have the poison status. Cool down for 5 seconds. Learning needs. Level 2. Poison. Causes 30% right pointing arrow 40% right pointing arrow 50% continuous damage every second. No weakness bonus, lasts for 5 seconds, cannot be superimposed. After this skill evolved twice, the total damage more than doubled. Qin Feng moved very quickly. Pick up skill books, learn skill books, and evolve skills all in one go. The last polluter turned around and was about to spray sludge at Qin Feng, but Qin Feng was faster. He raised his hand and a poisonous dart flew out. Instantly hit the polluter's head. It would be impossible for other new players to have the same attack accuracy as him. But Qin Feng spent 9 years in the God-abandoned game in his last life, and his proficiency in long-range attacks has long been engraved in his bones. Throw the poisonous darts casually and hit the weak spot on the head directly. 237 Weakness attack. The damage number does not seem to be high. This is because there is no concealment breaking, no back attack, and the opponent has even discovered Qin Feng, so the shadow professional passive does not take effect, and there is no double damage. But after Qin Feng took action, he disappeared directly. After being hit by a poisonous dart, the defiler's entire body turned green. 2 damage numbers pop up above the head in a row. -158. -158. After taking 2 poisonous bites and sustaining damage, the polluter finally died. This sustained damage is quite high. And I become invisible after launching an attack. This continuous damage can actually take advantage of my professional passive and double the damage. Qin Feng is more sensitive to injuries. Discovered this immediately. Shadow's third professional passive is that the damage dealt is doubled when the enemy is not within sight. He was invisible, so of course he was not within the enemy's sight. Then, it is normal for the continuous damage to be doubled. Unfortunately, this last defiler also exploded nothing. There is only the last bronze level boss, Sprinter, left on the scene, and this is the highlight. At this time, Wang Meng was already sweating profusely. I can't hold on any longer. The middle-aged female priest in the team was constantly releasing healing spells on him, but unfortunately the effect was limited. Wang Meng's health bar was still getting closer to the bottom bit by bit. Obviously, although this team has reached level 2 by killing mobs, they have not revealed any useful equipment or skill books, so their fighting style is still very simple. At this time, a figure suddenly appeared behind the boss Sprinter. Watching the moment when the Sprinter launched an attack on Wang Meng, a poisonous dart flew towards the Sprinter's head. A precise hit on the head. -845 weak point attack. Hidden breaking, back attack, weak point attack, all are fully loaded. One shot into the soul. Wang Meng and others were nervous. When they saw the boss's health bar dropped by half instantly, their eyes widened. Wang Meng couldn't help but curse. Their entire team, after fighting the Sprinters for half a day, lost less than 10% of their HP. As a result, this mysterious figure directly killed half of the boss with one skill. And this is only the basic damage of poisonous darts. What comes next is the scariest thing. -324. -324. -324. -324. As the Sprinter's body turned green, 4 continuous damage numbers popped up one after another. The Sprinter didn't even have a chance to struggle, and fell directly in front of Wang Meng. Certainly, Wang Meng and the others couldn't see other people's damage numbers. They can only see the health bar above the boss's head. The blood bar dropped a bit every time it jumped, making Wang Meng's and the others' heartbeats. They watched helplessly as the bronze boss, who almost wiped out their entire group, was poisoned to death. All go, this hurts. Is this still a human being? No, is this really a player who entered the game at the same time as us? You haven't seen the key. The key is that when the boss moves around, he can accurately hit the boss's head with a dart. That's right, with our long-range attacks, it's difficult to hit the boss, but he hit the weak point easily. Wang Meng and the other 6 people all took a deep breath. They watched the boss explode a pile of loot, but it was obvious that they did not have the authority to pick it up. In the abandoned game, the ownership of the loot dropped by monsters belongs to the team or individual with the highest damage. Now, Qin Feng killed 90% of the runner's health. Of course, Qin Feng has the right to own all the spoils. You killed the sprinter, bronze level. You have gained 600 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 3. Congratulations on getting 2 evolution points. You gain 55 days of life tradable. The moment the boss fell to the ground, a series of system prompts sounded in Qin Feng's mind. After he threw the poisonous dart, he released the latent shadow again and entered the invisible state again. The current cooldown time of latent image is 26 seconds, which is still a bit long. It somewhat affects the efficiency of monster spawning. However, if you have evolution points, it's best to evolve the Hand of Greed first. Qin Feng thought. He quietly came to the body of the sprinter and picked up a pile of loot. And this scene seemed extremely weird in the eyes of Wang Meng and the others. No one was seen. Then the loot next to the boss's body suddenly disappeared. Thank you, my friend. Wang Meng knew that the big boss was beside him, and with a solemn and serious expression, he clasped his fists in the air and thanked him sincerely. Thank me, Qin Feng said lightly, and his voice seemed to come from all directions. In the wild, don't trust others so easily. These words made Wang Meng look solemn. I understand. Thank you for reminding me, brother. In the God-abandoned game, only small towns are safe zones. Players can also kill players as long as they are outside the town. Once they die, whether it is tradable lifespan or untradable lifespan, half of it will be dropped. Of course, the only thing players can pick up is tradable lifespan. As for untradable lifespan, players cannot pick it up directly. Only by letting the monster absorb it and then killing the monster can it be converted to 50%. Obviously, if Qin Feng wanted to go against Wang Meng now, he could kill them easily, but it was not necessary. Because nothing can be exploded at all. These guys are so poor. At this time, Wang Meng also understood. If this boss really had thoughts about them, he wouldn't remind them. This made Wang Meng even more grateful. Then let's go first and don't bother the boss buying equipment. My name is Wang Meng. If you need help from now on, just ask me. Wang Meng was very sensible. After saying this, he planned to take the people away. But the beautiful girl behind him who was covered in mud suddenly waved her hand around. Big brother, I am Hybulin Big Plum, can I add you as a friend? Quote. Qin Feng almost laughed out loud when he heard the girl's self-reported code name. In fact, he knew this girl, of course, in the previous life. The reason why she was called this codename was because her real name was Lin Liu, her father's surname was Lin, and her mother's surname was Li, so Hybulin Big Plum came into being. This girl is indeed beautiful, has a lively and cute personality, and has an even hotter figure. As for the profession, it is the hidden profession, prophet, which is much better than ordinary mages. In the last life, Qin Feng collaborated with her several times. It seems that her start is the same as in the previous life, and she directly formed a team with Wang Meng. Later he became an official member of Daxia. Qin Feng shook his head secretly. There is no need for him to befriend the other party now. Then he said calmly, sorry, I'm not interested in Hybulin Big Plum. The girl was unwilling to be friends with Qin Feng and wanted to stalk her. As a result, the middle-aged female priest in the team dragged her with a look of helplessness and turned around and left. Looking at their leaving figures, Qin Feng was also a little emotional. Wang Meng's profession, Holy Shield Fight, is still meat. Moreover, the middle-aged female priest in the team is also a hidden profession, Oracle Priest, and her initial treatment amount is twice that of an ordinary priest. Otherwise, this team wouldn't have lasted this long. My attack looks like an instant kill. But due to the cooldown time of the latent shadow, the interval between attacks is too long. From beginning to end, it took nearly 2 minutes to deal with this boss and 3 polluters. In 2 minutes, if it were an ordinary team, they would have been wiped out by the runners. Qin Feng shook his head and didn't think too much. This time, he gained a lot. After Wang Meng and the others left, Qin Feng released his greedy hand towards the corpse of the sprinter. Congratulations on getting 2 evolution points. You gain 55 days of life tradable. A bronze boss gave Qin Feng a total of 4 evolution points, plus 110 days of tradable life, and 5 pieces of loot. The harvest is good. There are 3 pieces of equipment and 2 skill books in the drop. Only 1 piece of equipment can be used by Qin Feng. There are too many professions in God's abandonment game, and things about other professions will often be revealed. This is normal. Sprinting leather leggings, bronze assassin equipment. Physical defense plus 9, all elemental resistance plus 5. Cooling speed plus 15%. Equipment requirements. Level 2. The defense and elemental resistance of this equipment are of little use to Qin Feng. But the 15% cooldown rate is nice. Just put it on. The cooldown time of Latent Shadow has been reduced from 26 seconds to 22.61 seconds, which is a good effect. In God's abandonment game, there is no cooling reduction in the regular attributes, only cooling speed. In the later stage, the cooling speed attribute can basically be increased to several hundred%. For example, a 400% cooling rate means that the cooling speed is 4 times faster, which is equivalent to 5 times the original speed. A skill that originally had a 20-second cooldown now only takes 4 seconds. In short, final cooling time equals base cooling time 1 plus cooling speed. Continue to spawn monsters. With 1 more evolution point, you can evolve Greedy Hand to the Emerald level. Qin Feng remained invisible and continued to go deeper into the dark woods. At the same time, Qin Feng's tradable lifespan has reached 268 days. I also have many equipment and skill books from other professions with me. When the backpack is full, go back to the town and exchange the items for tradable lifespan. At that time, you can consider extracting equipment skills back to reality. Without any exaggeration, Qin Feng's growth rate was more than 100 times faster than in his previous life. It sounds like he developed very slowly in his last life. But there's nothing we can do about it. Because when the number of players in the town increases, the monsters outside will also gather. If new players want to hunt monsters, the difficulty will skyrocket. Instead, many player teams were hunted by hordes of monsters and lost their lifespan. For example, the current Shell Town. Wang Meng, with his hidden professional team, has returned to an area closer to the town. There will be no level 2 monsters here, only level 1 monsters. To their shock, when they returned, they soon saw a team of 6 players being besieged by more than a dozen crawlers. If you deal with a creeper alone, many teams can kill it now. But a dozen crawlers, so many creepers, am I kidding? A young man screamed and cursed in panic, and then 3 crawlers jumped on him, biting him to death. Ready to fight. Wang Meng's expression became extremely solemn, and he unfolded the inferior shield in his hand. They had just come all the way, and they rested for a few minutes halfway, and their health and mana were almost restored. Originally, Lin Liu, a beautiful girl holding a staff, was still struggling with not adding Qin Feng as a friend. I must be covered in mud, and the boss dislikes it, woo woo woo. This girl is almost crying. But before she could be sad for long, the scene in front of her shocked her. She immediately held the staff and prepared to fight. More than a dozen crawlers. Kill a team of 6 players in just a few seconds. Originally, Wang Meng was still preparing to fight with a solemn expression. Result: the dozen or so crawlers looked back at their team. They seemed to feel that they were different from the ordinary team, so they all felt a little wary and turned around to leave. Of course, before leaving, they still absorbed all the untradable lifespans revealed by those 6 players. Although it takes time for monsters to digest their lifespan. But it is absorbed and stored quickly. After that was done, more than a dozen crawlers turned around and fled deep into the woods. Ran. Wang Meng and others were stunned. These monsters. It's totally against common sense. Moreover, the speed of those crawlers is really fast. Although not as good as the sprinters, it is not something that Wang Meng and the others can catch up with. They want to run away, but we really can't catch them. These monsters still know how to bully the weak and fear the strong. Wang Meng and Lin Liu all felt a little strange. Once again, I have an extra layer of awe for this God-forsaken game. The monsters in this game. It's completely different from ordinary online games where you just wait for players to kill. Instead, they will form teams to hunt players. Steal the player's lifespan. As for what the monster does to steal the player's lifespan, Wang Meng and the others don't know yet, but that alone is enough to make people feel terrified. Walk. Wang Meng led the team and continued to move forward. Soon I saw another team of 6 people. 3 people were already dead, and the remaining 3 were running for their lives. Unfortunately, their speed was too slow, and the 5 crawlers behind them were chasing after them, attacking them constantly, and were about to kill them. Arcane Orb. 3 consecutive shots. The 2 long-range members of Wang Meng's team attacked the 5 crawlers from a distance. Each of them hit a crawler, knocking off about 1/10 of its health. Surround them, don't let them escape. Wang Meng rushed forward with his shield, jumped to the ground, and landed with a crash, stunning the 5 crawlers on the spot. Things like this are happening everywhere around Shell Town. In people's minds, the monsters that they should kill to gain experience actually join forces, gather together, and in turn surround and kill the players. The town square resurrection point. White lights flashed continuously, almost never stopping for a moment. Every resurrected player's face became ugly. You have to reach level 3 before you can return to reality. I thought it would be easy, but I didn't expect. The monsters already know how to form a team, so how about taking the lead to level up to level 3? I have a question. If we never reach level 3, won't we be trapped here forever? Then in reality, wouldn't we become vegetative? No, we have to gather more people. If a 6-person team is not possible, then 2 or 3 teams will go together. No, too many people will attract the boss. We just had a group of 40 people, and they attracted some kind of cursed person, and one skill killed more than 30 of them in seconds. Countless people were frightened. At this moment, they suddenly saw. On the level ranking list of Shell Town, the number 1, Shadow, has become level 3. Hell, is this Shadow really that awesome? We even have trouble killing a mob, but how can he level up so easily? Shadow Boss seems to be a solo player. After all, he is the only one with such a high level on the list. It must be a single brush. Isn't this too fierce? People felt incredible. By now, many people have left the town. I deeply understand how ferocious the monsters outside are. Under this situation, Shadow can be single-played and upgraded along the way. How powerful is this? At this time, Sister Lizzie, codenamed Yali, led her teammates and resurrected from the square again. The face of this black short-sleeved girl was as black as coal. Because this is the 3rd time she has died. Her non-tradable lifespan was originally 80 years, but now she only has 10 years left. It can be said that she has suffered a heavy loss. Although, she currently doesn't know whether this lifespan is true or false. But it still brought a heavy psychological pressure to her. The soft, long-haired girl who was resurrected with her has her hands trembling a little now. Sister Lizzie, what should we do now? The soft girl looked at her experience bar worriedly. Their team has killed 4 crawlers so far, and each person has less than 10 experience points. It is still early to reach the 100 experience points required to reach level 2, let alone level 3. Even these 4 crawlers were killed with great difficulty. Because, when they run out of blood, they will run. Sister Lizzie, who was the leader, had some tricks up her sleeve. After all, she was a hidden profession. With the longbow in her hand, she managed to get rid of the crawlers who were running away with their remaining health. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be able to kill these 4 crawlers. In short, I can't die anymore. The girl in black short sleeves, Yali, looked very ugly. Suddenly she saw on the ranking list that the Shadow level had been raised to level 3. This situation made her eyes light up. Everyone spread out first and spread the news. Yali said in a deep voice, I will pay 10 million RMB to let Shadow take me to level 3. In short, let's get back to reality first. He upgrades so fast, so it should be easy to take me to upgrade, right? As a result, such a piece of news spread quickly in Shell Town. There is a young lady who is willing to spend 10 million RMB and ask the top Shadow boss to help upgrade it. At the same time, Qin Feng happened to be rushing back. After killing the sprinters, he killed a dozen or so crawlers in the dense forest, and finally got 1 evolution point with his greedy hand. Directly evolve greedy hand. You have consumed 5 evolution points and have 0 points remaining. Hand of Greed Platinum Right Pointing Arrow Emerald Assassin Skills. Can be used on monster corpses, with a 110% right pointing arrow 160% probability of receiving an additional loot reward. The additional loot obtained has a 20% chance of being upgraded by 1 level. The Hand of Greed has evolved to the Emerald level and has an additional special effect. There is a 20% chance to increase the extra loot by 1 level. Invincible. Qin Fang's eyes lit up. This effect can be said to be refreshing. If we continue to evolve, wouldn't it be a 100% improvement in level? Kill the bronze boss and you can harvest silver equipment. Kill the silver boss and get gold equipment. Just. Qin Fang has now memorized the location of a boss. The boss is called the Cursed, and it is a monster in the form of a withered tree man. It seems to have killed dozens of players and is hiding somewhere in the dense forest, digesting lifespan. Soon, the Cursed One will be promoted to a silver level boss. However, it will take some time for the boss to advance. Anyway, no one can kill the boss right now, so I'll give it some time to advance. Go back and take care of your things first. Qin Fang glanced at the backpack. He is now level 3.5, and his backpack with only 10 slots is full. They are all equipment and skill books that do not belong to his profession. For Qin Fang, these things are of little use, so it is best to replace them with tradable lifespan. But for other players in Shell Town, these are good things that can greatly improve their strength. For example, the Mage Skill Book, Ice Cone. Once you learn this skill, you can slow down the target when it hits, and even have a chance to freeze the target. Of course, the boss has high control resistance and is difficult to control. But it is definitely a sharp weapon for dealing with mobs. On the way back to Shell Town, Qin Fang saw many people being chased to death by crawlers. There was no expression on his face. This situation is common in the early stages of the game. It doesn't take long for people to realize that all they need to do to deal with this situation is to be more agile. If you have high agility and fast speed, you won't be chased to death. No matter how many crawlers come, it will be useless. And if the crawler wants to escape, it can also use its speed to chase and kill it. This is why Qin Fang wants to increase his agility. When Qin Fang approached the safety zone of Shell Town, he finally stopped hiding. But he brought up the system panel and enabled the face blocking function. In the God Abandonment game, the player's appearance is the same as reality and cannot be adjusted. I'm still an ordinary person in reality, and I don't have the ability to extract it yet. You can't reveal your identity. Qin Fang knew this very well. Once his identity is exposed, as he is now the number 1 in Shell Town, there will definitely be trouble, and even death. This kind of thing he had seen a lot in his last life. After activating the face occlusion function, an impenetrable black veil appeared on his face. He was wearing the original black robe, with brown, sprinting leather leggings on his legs, and rotten leather boots on his feet. Under the black veil, only his cold eyes were exposed. In Shell Town, these players all came from Zhonghai City, all of them looked sad. They want to advance to level 3 and return to reality. But now, they can't even kill a single crawler. Once they encounter it, it's a group. How can they fight? So, they all crowded into Shell Town and kept discussing ways. When Qin Fang returns, his cold image immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding players. The leggings, shoes, and the corrosive dagger on his hand were obviously equipment dropped by wild monsters outside. In particular, the dagger and leggings have a faint bronze light effect. It's obviously bronze level equipment. Who is this person? So pretentious. I have 2 pieces of bronze equipment, how can I stop showing off? Hey, could this be the shadow boss number 1 on the rankings? I bet, it seems real. Boss, someone has offered you 10 million RMB to upgrade it. Big brother, I don't need you to guide me. I can also give you 100,000. You just need to tell me how you did it alone. Ooh, boss, I have died 4 times. As long as you are willing to take me, you can do whatever you want me to do. I am still a young person. For a time, many people gathered around. Some wanted Qin Fang to lead him to upgrade, and some asked him how he did it alone. Unfortunately, Qin Fang ignored them all. He walked straight to the central square of the town, then came to a dilapidated flower bed and sat down. He clicked on the stall function and placed the 10 pieces of equipment and skill books. Store name. Equipment and skills sale, only 10 minutes, so hurry up if you want to buy. There are many people in the town now. Qin Feng estimated that 10 minutes would be enough. As soon as this stall came out, it immediately attracted everyone around it. Boss, what a shadow boss. Wow, the boss is actually selling equipment, and he even has 2 pieces of bronze equipment. Did you kill the bronze level boss? I heard that the bronze level curse killed Huang Mao and more than 30 of them. Yes, such a powerful bronze boss, can anyone really kill him at this stage? For a time, players from all walks of life gathered over. Soon a woman wearing a gray robe came over with her teammates. She has a voluptuous figure, perfect S-curves, tall and straight mountains, and a pair of beautiful legs that are even more slender, making people reluctant to look away after just one look. How do you sell this ice cone technique? The woman in gray robe came up to take a look, and immediately pursed her lips and asked. Like Qin Feng, she also turned on the face blocking function. But Qin Feng recognized it. This woman should be the Grey Rose, who is currently ranked 11th on the Shell Town rankings. What she is wearing is probably a low-quality robe dropped by ordinary monsters, and it goes well with her codename. Qin Feng glanced at her and said, 100 days of trading life. Grey Rose frowned slightly. 100 days. This is too much. I can't afford it. Can it be cheaper? Qin Feng shook his head and was too lazy to speak. The ordinary skill, Ice Cone, can greatly increase the speed of monster spawning in the early stage of the legal system. 100 days is already very cheap. Grey Rose then asked, can I pay in cash? Qin Feng said calmly, if you have a lot of cash, you can buy lifespan with others first, and then trade with me. If no one offers a higher price, I can keep the things for you. Grey Rose bit her lip. Wait a moment. She took her teammates to the side and chatted for a while in the team channel. Half a minute later, Grey Rose came to Qin Feng again. Okay, 100 days of life, let's deal. Qin Feng has a total lifespan of 268 days until now. And Grey Rose, after all, had reached level 2, and led the team to kill at least 30 or 40 crawlers. However, the tradable lifespan of Creeper Burst was equally divided between her and her teammates. At this time, Grey Rose gathered the entire team's tradable lifespan together and used it to purchase the Ice Cone technique so that they could develop faster. You sold Ice Cone technique skill book and you gained 100 days of tradable life. Tradable life. 268 days right pointing arrow 368 days. As soon as the transaction was completed, several people suddenly pushed away the crowd roughly and came to Qin Feng. The leader is the ponytail girl wearing black short sleeves, Sister Lizzie, codenamed Yali. This girl obviously tore off the sleeves of the initial black robe given by the system, so it became short-sleeved, which makes her look cooler and more lively. Shadow. The eldest lady looked condescendingly at Qin Feng, who was sitting by the flower bed, and said arrogantly, I'll give you a chance. Just take me to level 3. After returning to reality, I will give you 10 million RMB. My dad is the chairman of Dajiang Industrial, so you don't have to worry about me not being able to pay. As soon as these words came out, everyone was in an uproar. 10 million. Just take her to level 3. People around were shocked. Isn't this great? It's definitely not difficult for the shadow boss to bring people to level 3. Yes, this is a casual income of 10 million. But what people didn't expect was Qin Feng, who was sitting by the flower bed, glanced at the short-sleeved girl, and his mood did not fluctuate at all. I refuse. No one can see that Qin Feng is sneering. When he saw this, Yali, for the first time, Qin Feng didn't recognize it. After all, he had met too many people in his previous life, how could he remember them all? But when he heard the words, Dajiang Industrial, Qin Feng remembered it. The young lady in front of me is Zhongli, the daughter of the chairman of Dajiang Industrial. This woman did a lot of cruel things in her previous life. For example, he used cash to purchase tradable lifespans, but when he returned to reality, he not only refused to acknowledge the debt, but also pretended to give someone cash and took the opportunity to kill the person in reality. At least a dozen people were murdered by her. At that time, the whole society was in chaos. In reality, murders are common. And Zhongli has risen rapidly by virtue of the tradable lifespan he acquired and his own hidden profession. Qin Feng remembered that it was not until the 4th or 5th year of the advent of the God-abandoned game that Zhongli suffered retribution. Certainly, these things have nothing to do with him. Because he took Qin Xiaoyu with him in his last life, his early upgrade speed was not fast, and he had little interaction with Zhongli. As for now, Qin Feng certainly won't believe her lies. 10 million RMB. For now, the money is useful, but it also depends on whether you can get it with your life. At this time, although Qin Feng is stronger than everyone else in the God abandonment game, in reality, he is still an ordinary person. Dajiang Industrial, the company behind Zhongli, has a bunch of thugs. Qin Feng dares to get cash. It can be said that if you take it, you will die. What's more, cash will soon lose its role in this world. The world's currency of exchange will soon be lifespan. Therefore, Qin Feng responded with indifference. He didn't even bother to pay attention to Zhongli in front of him. Qin Feng's attitude made Zhongli stunned. It seemed that he didn't expect that this man would completely ignore the temptation of 10 million. Zhongli frowned. Shadow. Although you are very strong in this game, no one knows what is going on in this game now. If you can follow me, I guarantee that you will be popular, have a car, and have a house in the future. If you want a woman, you have everything. Qin Feng waved his hand. If you don't want to buy anything, get out of the way. Don't affect my business. You. Zhongli was almost mad at him. She has been the treasure of her family since she was a child. In the eyes of outsiders, she is the daughter of Dajiang Industrial and is deeply doted on by the chairman. Who dares to bully her? It can be said that Zhongli has never been treated like this. A fierce light flashed in her eyes when she looked at Qin Feng, but she quickly hid it. She smiled. Okay, since you don't want to, then forget it. She turned and left, her face turning gloomy again. Qin Feng looked at her leaving figure and didn't care. At this time, no one knows that tradable lifespan can be used to extract equipment skills into reality. No one knows that abandoning the game will cause the order of reality to collapse. Only one's own strength is the foundation of everything. As for Zhongli, her proud Dajiang Industrial background will soon become meaningless. After leaving the central square of Shell Town, Zhongli was planning how to find out Qin Feng's true identity. At this moment, a young man with bare arms and a tattoo on his arm found Zhongli. Sister Lizzie, my name is Mao Lijun, you can call me Lao Mao. The young man said with a smile, I am now at level 2 and know some tips on how to upgrade. I can help you upgrade. Does that 10 million still count? Hearing this, Zhongli raised her eyebrows. The secret? What secret? The young man codenamed Lao Mao said directly, I won't tell ordinary people. But since it's Sister Lizzie, to show my sincerity, I can tell you that if you want to upgrade this situation, you must use all the initial 5 attribute points. Plus agility. In this way, the speed at which we run at full speed is just a little faster than the crawlers. In this way, do you understand? After hearing this, Zhongli felt a little enlightened. But soon the eldest lady frowned again. Because she has added the initial 5 attributes to strength. I thought high damage was everything. Unexpectedly, I was killed by hordes of crawlers. Okay, you take me to upgrade. Soon Zhongli said boldly, but you are not as strong as Shadow. I can give you 5 million. Do you accept it? Take me to level 3 and return to reality to give you cash. Lao Mao readily agreed. No problem. When he said this, Lao Mao was still thinking in his mind. Although Shadow is strong, there seems to be something wrong with his brain. Don't give it up to 10 for such a simple thing. How stupid. It's a pity that this guy doesn't know what kind of person Zhongli is. These 5 million, where is it so easy to get? On Qin Feng's side, everything was sold out quickly. Compared with skill books, equipment is much cheaper. He also has 2 bronze level items, 1 warrior equipment and 1 priest equipment. Their attributes are relatively average, so they only have a tradable life of 30 or 40 days. As for other inferior equipment and skill books, the prices are even lower. After all 10 equipment skill books were sold out, Qin Feng gained a total of nearly 300 days of tradable life. Tradable life. 546 days. The harvest is good. At this time, the cursor should have advanced to the silver level, right? Qin Feng closed the stall and left Shell Town. in the invisible state, quickly rushed towards the direction of the cursed person. On the way, he saw a young man named Lao Mao, taking Zhongli out and preparing to upgrade her. When Qin Feng saw this, he knew what happened to Lao Mao. But of course he didn't bother to remind the other party. For Qin Feng, as long as he doesn't provoke himself, he doesn't bother to care about other things. More than 10 minutes later, Qin Feng goes deep into the dark forest. Arriving at the place where I saw the cursed before, I found that the boss had already advanced to the silver level and was surrounded by gray mist. It was still advancing. It takes at least 7 or 8 hours to advance from silver to gold. Too lazy to wait, Qin Feng decided to take action. There are many golden bosses behind, there is no need to wait here, kill the boss first and become stronger is the right way. This place is full of dangers. There are monsters everywhere in the dense forest. Only Qin Feng can come here with permanent invisibility. He didn't hesitate and quietly came behind the cursed one, who looked like a withered tree man. The poisonous dart instantly shot out and hit the boss directly on the head. The silver boss has 2 to 3 times the HP of the bronze boss. It's just a matter of 2 or 3 poisonous darts. Qin Feng threw the dart and became invisible. The cursed man suffered heavy injuries in an instant, his health bar dropped by nearly a quarter, and he was still being harmed by poison. But it turns around, but not even a single shadow was seen. This made the cursor make a somewhat angry sound, and raised its dry and thin arms. The gray elemental energy was dense in its hands, gathered, and then expanded. A large-scale attack skill with a diameter of more than 20 meters exploded instantly, flooding the surrounding area. The curse is a monster boss belonging to the legal system. Most of the skills are range attacks and the damage is very high. After Qin Feng threw the poisonous dart, he retreated as quickly as possible. With his speed, he barely managed to leave the boss's attack range before his skills exploded. It's so dangerous. If this is exploded, with my current blood volume and defense, there is only one way to die. Qin Feng looked at the large-scale gray fog erupting in front of him, and his heartbeat was a little fast. This cursor killed more than 30 players and advanced to the silver level at once. Even the lifespan robbed is enough for it to advance to gold or even higher grades. It's a pity that I met Qin Feng. When the opponent's gray mist erupted, Qin Feng did not approach. Instead, stay away from the boss and wait for your latent shadow skill to cool down. The cursor kept raising his hand and releasing gray mist blasting skills into the surrounding air. These small skills are not that big in scope, but they also pose a great threat to Qin Feng. Once Qin Feng is hit, Qin Feng will only die. Fortunately, he was invisible throughout the whole process, far away from the boss, and did not encounter any danger. When Qin Feng's latent shadow was cooled down, the cursor seemed a little tired. He released more than 10 skills in succession, making his mana unable to keep up. The curse looked around with extreme vigilance and began to move deeper into the dense forest. Sudden, a figure appeared behind it, and another poisonous dart hit its head. -659 weakness attack. -219. -219, Qin Feng's figure disappeared in a flash. About 10 meters away, the dart hit the boss accurately on the head. The hit rate of this long-range attack alone is completely beyond what other players can achieve. Qin Feng didn't dare to get too close, otherwise he wouldn't have time to escape from the boss's attack range. It can be said that his paper strength is now strong. But a large part of it has to do with his 9 years of rich experience in his previous life. After 2 poisonous darts were thrown down, the health bar above the boss's head had gradually dropped to only 1/3 left. The cursor cannot see where the enemy is. We can only move crazily deeper into the jungle. A withered and thin, cursed, with long and thin hands hanging down to its knees, is running away as fast as possible. If anyone saw this scene, they would probably be shocked. No one can imagine that a boss that has advanced to the silver level will be hunted down by a player. You know, when this boss was at the bronze level, he killed dozens of players in one fell swoop. And at this time, a shadow appeared behind the curse again. Poison darts. The cursed person's body was dyed green again. Under the continuous damage from the fierce poison, the cursor's health bar finally dropped to the bottom, and he finally died. His withered and thin body fell on the rotten and moist forest floor. You killed the Cursed One, Silver level. You have gained 1800 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 5. Congratulations on getting 4 evolution points. You gain 124 days of life tradable. After receiving a large amount of experience points, Qin Feng was directly upgraded to level 2, reaching level 5. Moreover, the silver level boss brought Qin Feng 4 evolution points. The Hand of Greed. Qin Feng touched the corpse directly. A big golden hand reached out from the void and grabbed the withered corpse of the curse. The skill, Hand of Greed, was determined successfully. You have gained 4 evolution points. You have gained 4 evolution points. You gain 124 days of life tradable. You gain 124 days of life tradable. Received 2 additional rewards directly. This silver boss brought Qin Feng 12 evolution points and a tradable lifespan of 372 days. And, when Qin Feng used Greedy Hand, under the boss's corpse, a golden light flashed. Is this a gold level thing? As expected of an emerald level Greedy Hand. Qin Feng knew that this triggered the additional effect of the jade level Greedy Hand, with a 20% probability of increasing the extra loot by 1 level. It feels great, but Qin Feng felt a little depressed when he looked at the 7 or 8 trophies under the boss's body. There are only 10 spaces in the backpack now. You can't just kill a boss and run back, right? It's such a waste of time. I hope this cursor will give me a storage ring or something. That way there will be more grids. Qin Feng reached out to touch the pile of trophies under the boss's body with anticipation. Just when Qin Feng killed the silver level boss and rose to level 5. In Shell Town, countless people were shocked when they saw the ranking list. Level 3, jump directly to level 5. Did you kill some powerful boss? More than 10 minutes ago, I saw the boss selling equipment, and he got upgraded to level 2 so quickly. Isn't this too outrageous? My sister is 18 years old. I really hope that the boss can take a fancy to my sister, so that I can benefit from it and help me get promoted. Come on, I don't even care about $10 million, but how can I like your sister? Town Center. Wang Meng and Lin Liu's team of 6 finally reached level 3. They subconsciously glanced at the rankings. The young sharp-eyed shooter in the team swore, we have only reached level 3, and the boss is already level 5. Are you going to let people live? Wang Meng also looked dull. But soon he shook his head and said solemnly, don't think so much now. Let's return to reality first and inform our relatives and friends about God's abandonment of the game. The world is likely to be in turmoil, at least let the people we are close to people be prepared. Wang Meng's identity is an armed policeman. The reason why he fell asleep in the morning was because he had been following a criminal suspect all night last night and had just returned from his shift to rest. Unexpectedly, he entered the God's abandonment game. After hearing Wang Meng's words, Lin Liu and others nodded solemnly. They each returned to reality. In the body of Shen Yu, it gradually becomes illusory until it disappears. While countless people were shocked, Qin Feng also ushered in his great harvest. From this silver level cursor, he not only gained 12 evolution points, but also had a tradable lifespan of 372 days. Even the non-tradable lifespan was directly gained for more than 200 years. My untradable lifespan is now 418 years and 271 days. It looks like it has a lot of lifespan. But in the future, in the advanced areas of the God-abandoned game, or in the reality after the first spread of desolation, the lifespan will pass faster and faster. Qin Feng shook his head and didn't think too much. He looked into his backpack. Let's take a look at the gold level equipment first. Curse Ring, gold, common to all professions. All attributes +8. Dark element resistance +26, weak point attack multiplier +0.1. Equipment requirements. Level 4. Full attribute ring. Qin Feng is quite satisfied. 8 points of all attributes are equivalent to 32 attribute points. This ring is equivalent to the attributes that others can obtain by upgrading to level 3. The additional dark element resistance is useful against many monsters. The weak point attack multiplier is initially 1.5 times. With this ring, it is 1.6 times, which is not bad. There is no such thing as a critical hit in the God's abandonment game. Some only have weak point attack multipliers for hitting weak points. In other words, this weak point attack multiplier is somewhat similar to the critical hit damage of some online games. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng looked at a skill book again. Qin Feng obviously prefers skill books to equipment, because he can evolve his skills infinitely. At this time, a silver-level skill book exploded by the cursor made Qin Feng's eyes light up and he was extremely surprised. Instant Shadow / Silver Assassin Skill. Blinks in one direction up to 15 meters away and enters a stealth state, lasts for 5 seconds causing 3 slashes to all enemies on the path. Cooldown 10.43 seconds. Learning needs. Level 4. Chopping width. 2.1 meters. Each slash adds 100 points of attack power and is 100% regarded as a back strike. Qin Feng held the skill book in his hand and studied directly. If he had just learned this skill, the time he needed to kill the silver level cursor would have been saved in half. The most important is, this skill not only allows him to remain invisible, but it is also a range damage skill. As for the cooling time, 12 seconds is the basic cooling time of the skill, and 10.43 seconds is the actual cooling time. After all, Qin Feng has a 15% cooling speed attribute. 15 meters long and 2.1 meters wide attack range. It's great for attacking monsters. Through evolution, the range should be improved. But don't worry yet. Qin Feng focused his attention on the Hand of Greed. Greedy Hand has evolved 4 times before, and now it is evolving for the 5th time. The required evolution points are 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 5 points and 8 points respectively. So, the number of evolution points required for each evolution of a skill is equal to the sum of the previous 2 evolutions. If I guess correctly, the 6th evolution of each skill requires 13 evolution points. Qin Feng thought this while spending 8 evolution points to evolve Greedy Hand again. You have consumed 8 evolution points and have 4 points left. Hand of Greed Emerald Right Pointing Arrow Diamond Assassin Skill. Can be used on monster corpses, with a 160% right pointing arrow 220% probability of receiving an additional loot reward. The additional loot obtained has a 20% right pointing arrow 40% probability of being upgraded by 1 level. Seeing the effect of skill improvement, Qin Feng took a breath. Now every time you kill a monster, you will definitely get 2 more trophies. Killing 1 monster is equivalent to killing 3 monsters by others. There is even a 20% chance of 3 more rewards. There is still a 40% chance of being promoted to a higher level. As this skill evolves, Qin Feng feels that he is becoming more and more abnormal. When he looked at the conditions for the next evolution of Greedy Hand, he found that indeed, the number of evolution points required for the next evolution was 13 points. Without the Greedy Hand, Qin Feng would have spent a long time getting these 13 evolution points. But now, with Greedy Hand, evolution points are easy to come by as long as there is a boss. There are still 4 evolution points left. Let's improve our combat effectiveness first. Qin Feng discovered that the silver level boss he had just killed could no longer be killed instantly. Therefore, combat power also needs to be mentioned, otherwise when encountering a more advanced boss, it is easy to cause trouble if the battle time is prolonged. You have consumed 3 evolution points and have 1 point left. Blinking Shadow / Silver Right Pointing Arrow Gold Right Pointing Arrow Platinum Flash in one direction up to 15 Right Pointing Arrow 18 Right Pointing Arrow 21 meters and enter a stealth state lasting 5 Right Pointing Arrow 6 Right Pointing Arrow 7 seconds causing 3 Right Pointing Arrow to all enemies on the path. 4 Right Pointing Arrow 5 slashes. Cooldown 10.43 seconds. Chopping width. 2.1 right pointing arrow 2.6 right pointing arrow 3.1 meters. Each slash adds 100 right pointing arrow 150 right pointing arrow 200 attack power. Evolving Instant Shadow Slash, the cooldown time is not reduced. It's a little uncomfortable, but I can become infinitely invisible just by relying on the Instant Shadow Slash. 3 slashes turned into 5 slashes, and the damage exploded. There is still 1 evolution point left, and there are no skills to evolve for the time being. Qin Feng looked at the remaining loot again. There is nothing else he can use, but there is still a silver level warrior skill book called Battle Cry, which increases the team's attack power and defense by 20 points after being released. Once this skill book is learned, it can double the damage and tankiness of the entire team in the early stage. If this were a warrior from the previous life, he would have been invincible with this skill in the early stage. But now, this skill book can only be sold. Qin Feng was a little pity. He remained invisible and looked around. This dense forest is already an area where level 4 to 5 monsters are spawned. The original level 2 cursor has also digested his lifespan and increased it from level 2 to level 4, so he can give Qin Feng level 4 loot. In the shadows of the woods not far away, there were 3 rotting, limb crawlers, vigilantly looking at the dead body of the curse. Before they could react, instant shadow slash. -725. -725. -725. Level 4 ordinary mobs have about 1,000 health points. But Qin Feng's figure first appeared for about 0.1 seconds with a flash of shadow, and then traveled more than 10 meters away in an instant. On the path, the 3 limb crawlers each received 2 slashes and were killed on the spot. You killed the limb crawler LV4. You have gained 80 experience points. You gain 5 days of life tradable. A series of system prompts sounded in Qin Feng's mind. Easily killing 3 mobs, he returned to the corpses of the mobs and released the Hand of Greed. Fortunately, the Hand of Greed has not cooled down. It's just that each monster corpse can only be touched once, which is a pity. If anyone knew what Qin Feng was thinking, they would be scolded. Not satisfied with the 100% triple reward. How many more times do you want to touch? Do you want face? After learning the blinking shadow slash, Qin Feng's monster spawning efficiency immediately improved. It seems that it only takes 2 hours to reach level 10. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curled up slightly. Just when Qin Feng was planning to hit level 10 and extract his abilities into reality. Blue Star Reality. All over the world, people have finally reached level 3 one after another, and these people all returned to reality immediately. It turns out that more and more people are entering the God-abandoned game because they fall asleep. In reality, their bodies turned into a translucent illusory state, causing panic among the people around them and even various remarks about the end of the world, which quickly spread. But as level 3 players return to reality one after another, the truth is finally known to the public. After falling asleep, our consciousness actually goes to a place abandoned by the gods. God abandoned the game. Is it just like an online game? Can you become stronger by playing games? I, Joe Benway, am invincible in real life. Don't be too optimistic. It is said that most people are dying all the time now, and half of their lifespan will be deducted every time they die. You can gain lifespan by killing monsters in the game. Doesn't that mean you can achieve immortality? Who knows if this thing is real or fake? It may allow everyone in the world to enter the game after falling asleep. Who can explain this power? Really, there is an old man in my town who only had a few days left to live. He went out and died several times and died suddenly on the spot. Players in the town have received death notices, so I don't know if they are dead in reality as well. Countless discussion posts have appeared in various countries and major online forums around the world. God abandons the game and became a hot word on all websites around the world. Zhonghai Normal University, Zhonghai City. Qin Xiaoyu and Chu Yan, who had returned to the dormitory to rest, of course also learned about the God-abandoned game. In the dormitory, 4 girls were having a heated discussion about the God-abandoned game. Short-haired girl Chu Yan, Qin Xiaoyu's best friend, was packing her things and said, "It is said that people in the same area will appear in the same novice town as long as they fall asleep at the same time. I have to go back and take my parents. They haven't played games, and I'm afraid they won't be able to adapt." One girl said helplessly, "Don't involve yourself in it. In fact, we can grow on our own first and take care of our parents later." There was also a girl wearing glasses who nodded like a chicken, "Yes, yes. We ourselves can't guarantee normal development." Qin Xiaoyu glanced at the phone. In fact, she was waiting for an apology from Qin Feng. But, until now, there is no news about Qin Feng. This made Qin Xiaoyu increasingly annoyed. "It's such a big deal, why don't you come to me to apologize? Are you so arrogant?" But it was even more impossible for her to take the initiative to apologize to Qin Feng. The most important is, Qin Xiaoyu felt that there was nothing wrong with her skipping the exam and attending Seinfeld's concert. In her opinion, Seinfeld's concert is so rare. How can it be compared to a mere exam? If the exam is gone, you can make up the exam or retake it. If you don't make it to the concert, you will forever miss an opportunity to get close to your brother. Fortunately, Chu Yan accompanied me this time. It was the closest I got to my brother. Qin Xiaoyu felt sweet when he thought of Song Fei. Seinfeld's words, "I miss you," at the beginning of the concert directly reminded Qin Xiaoyu until now. I don't know when Brother Seinfeld will enter the God-abandoned game. With my brother's strength, he will definitely work very hard, and he will definitely be very strong in the game. Funny to say, now most of the brothers in Qin Xiaoyu's mind are Song Fei, not Qin Feng. Qin Feng in the previous life didn't know this. Because of the emergence of the God-abandoned game, Qin Feng came to the school in person, found Qin Xiaoyu, apologized and requested, and finally entered the game with her. And this life, how do you like it? However, the current situation will also change due to Qin Feng's choice. In the last life, although Qin Feng did not come to Qin Xiaoyu immediately after receiving the news because he was at work, he still sent her messages to apologize and stabilized her. But this time, Qin Feng didn't care about her at all. Apologize, eating rubber. So, Qin Xiaoyu is likely to enter the God abandonment game in advance under such circumstances. But what does this have to do with Qin Feng? Suddenly, Chu Yan looked at her phone and said in surprise, "Sisters, look. Zhang Wei has actually been promoted to level 3 and has come out of the God abandoned game." Qin Xiaoyu was a little surprised, so powerful. He who has reached level 3 now is definitely a boss. As soon as she finished speaking, she picked up her phone and tweeted Zhang Wei in the V-message group. Zhang Wei is the boy who fell asleep on the table during class. After the V-letter group appeared, the whole class was praised. Xiao Yu, at Brother Zhang Wei, do you have any strategies to teach me? The praise from the whole class made Zhang Wei feel a little elated. Especially Qin Xiaoyu's speech made Zhang Wei feel even more happy. He thought to himself, isn't this the best opportunity to pick up girls? On weekdays, Qin Xiaoyu's attitude is not low. Zhang Wei is not Qin Xiaoyu's liquor. But the girl who comes to your door is free of charge. So, Zhang Wei directly started chatting with Qin Xiaoyu privately, and started to brag with her. Don't worry, Xiaoyu. As long as someone in the town reaches level 5, they can light up the teleportation array in the town. At that time, the initial towns can teleport to each other. You first find a small town and form a team to upgrade. When the time comes, I will find you and take you flying. Also, let me tell you a secret. Enter the initial attribute points of the game and increase agility. Otherwise, you will be tortured by monsters if you are not fast enough. Qin Xiaoyu was a little confused after seeing the news about Zhang Wei. She asked, what if I am a legal profession, do I also need to add agility? Zhang Wei solemnly replied, yes. Agility is not completely useless for the spell system. It can speed up spell casting, which is especially important in the early stage. Qin Xiaoyu. I know. Looking at Qin Xiaoyu's cute V-letter avatar, Zhang Wei felt a little carried away, even imagining the scene of having with Qin Xiaoyu. As everyone knows, Qin Xiaoyu only has one, Brother Seinfeld, in his eyes. She was not interested in other people at all. In her opinion, they were just tools to help her upgrade. Qin Xiaoyu thought of Qin Feng and sneered secretly. If you don't come to me to apologize now, it's really embarrassing for you. In this case, I will go and upgrade first. When someone in Zhang Wei's town reaches level 5, Zhang Wei can teleport over and take me. Qin Feng, by the time you enter the game, we don't know how many levels you have reached. She feels that with the help of a big boss, she will level up very quickly. As everyone knows, Qin Feng has now reached level 5. If Zhang Wei is the boss, then who is Qin Feng? The teleportation array in the initial town is two-way. Therefore, it is useless to light up the teleportation array in a single town. Only people in other towns must upgrade to level 5. This is why Qin Feng is not in a hurry to go back and light up the teleportation array. What's more, for Qin Feng, he plans to quickly reach level 10 and head to the main city. That is the real beginning of the game of God abandonment. However, you can teleport between towns for free. If you think about it, which town is Seinfeld in? Qin Feng thought while squinting his eyes while easily killing monsters in the dark woods. Not long after the start of the last life, Qin Xiaoyu wanted to go to Songfei, but Qin Feng stopped him and refused to let him go. Thanks to Qin Xiaoyu, there was a Seinfeld fan group at that time and they learned about the original town where Seinfeld was located. It seems to be called Yingwo Town. Okay, wait until you go to Yingwo Town to upgrade, and see Seinfeld kill him one at a time. Qin Feng's eyes were filled with murderous intent. The hunting in the game is just a prelude, the purpose is to make them fear offline. The real hunt ensues. Qin Feng looked at the ranking list of Shell Town. Now he is the only one who has reached level 6. Everyone else is stuck at level 3. I want to wait for players in other towns to reach level 5 and enable teleportation between towns, but it's not that fast yet. Continue to spawn monsters. Instant shadow slash. -754. -754. -754. One by one, the fierce and terrifying monsters in the eyes of other players were instantly killed by Qin Feng, and they turned into experience, exploding lifespan and loot. In reality, Blue Star, Zhonghai City. After Wang Meng returned to reality, he quickly drove to the bureau and reported the situation to his superiors. What? You said someone in your shell town has already reached level 5. And it's a solo grind. His code name is Shadow. If you upgrade to level 5 now, wouldn't you be number 1 in the world? Within the bureau, more than a dozen senior officials were all shocked after listening to Wang Meng's report. At this time, some of the officials from Zhonghai City all gathered together. Some of them also play games. Now I am quite interested in this god-forsaken game. Certainly, as an official member of Daxia, the most important thing now is to maintain stability. After hearing the report from Wang Meng, one of the officials frowned and said, Wang Meng, according to you, the shadow reached level 3 half an hour ago, so why didn't he come back to reality? Does it mean that he has no relatives in reality and doesn't need it? Inform relatives. Wang Meng shook his head. Then I don't know. Maybe there really isn't. At this time, a clear and pleasant female voice came out. Well, this shadow can't be a time traveler, right? Aren't time travelers generally orphans and then rising up quickly? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Everyone was stunned and looked over. I only saw a beautiful policewoman, wearing an elegant uniform, with a natural look on her face. Her legs are slender and straight, and her figure is plump and very eye-catching. Seeing everyone looking at her, the pretty policewoman blushed. Am I wrong? A ministerial official sighed. And you? I want you to read less novels. Don't make such a joke on such a serious occasion. Oh, the policewoman stuck out her tongue and stopped talking. The officials continued to discuss the shadow. From Wang Meng's description, this shadow's character seems not bad. That's right. Although his temper seems a bit strange, being able to save Wang Meng and the others means that there is nothing wrong with him. It seems that it is necessary to make friends with this shadow. The officials discussed for a while and quickly made a decision to let Wang Meng and Anyu be responsible for making friends with the shadow in the game. The first is to find out the character of shadow. The second is to find out the real identity of shadow as much as possible. The third is to represent the official and establish cooperation with shadow. As for the lifespan, the above has sent a message confirming the authenticity of the lifespan data. There are some older people who died after entering the God's Abandonment game. After subsequent data collection and comparison, it was confirmed that these deceased people died many times in the God's Abandonment game, and their lifespans were constantly cut in half. If the remaining lifespan is less than 1 day, once you die, 1 day of your lifespan will be forcibly deducted and you will die. So, this game has been confirmed to be extraordinary, and countries around the world have taken the God Abandoned game extremely seriously. Officials are currently busy in 2 directions. One is to maintain social stability. One is to explore the game God Forsaken. Human lifespan is controlled by a mysterious and weird game. This makes officials from various countries have to pay attention to this game. Certainly, now the officials of various countries and everyone in the world only know that this game can affect lifespan. What really matters is, as long as someone reaches level 10, they will get a system prompt. By consuming tradable lifespan, the levels, attributes, equipment, skills, etc. in the game can be extracted into reality. At that time, global chaos will begin. More than an hour later. Qin Xiaoyu forced himself to fall asleep in the dormitory and entered the god abandonment game. Just like the last life, she chose a random career. Obtained the hidden profession, life sacrifice. This profession has a higher healing capacity than ordinary priests and can protect the survival environment of teammates to the greatest extent. In his previous life, Qin Feng was just an ordinary warrior, and because of this he was always looked down upon by Qin Xiaoyu. Even though Qin Feng is very powerful, Qin Xiaoyu still doesn't approve of Qin Feng. But how did she know that Qin Feng chose the warrior profession just to protect her in the game? In this life, without her Qin Xiaoyu, Qin Feng directly obtained the only hidden profession, Shadow. It is also a hidden profession, but the grades are also different. Life sacrifices are common hidden professions. This type of career may also be available to others. But Qin Feng's Shadow is unique. The strength is higher than that of ordinary hidden professions. Great, I got a hidden profession. In this case, you must be worthy of Brother Seinfeld, right? Qin Xiaoyu was overjoyed. Thinking of Qin Feng again, she frowned. This person hasn't come to me to apologize until now, what's going on? Well, now that the God Abandoned game has appeared, I am a hidden profession. Don't ask me to help you upgrade then. Quote. Qin Xiaoyu, who obtained a hidden profession, is now very swollen. Besides, Zhang Wei had already promised to take her, which made her even more confident. However, she obviously misjudged the difficulty of the God Abandoned game. For her, it would definitely torture her to death. Shell Town. Qin Feng filled a backpack with loot and planned to go back and dispose of it. Fortunately, I found a storage backpack. Although it only has 5 slots, it can still hold 5 pieces of loot. In the game God Abandoned, players initially bring a 10-slot backpack, hanging on the left side of their waist. Now, Qin Feng also has a black cloth bag on the right side of his waist, with 5 more slots. Qin Feng made some calculations. These things can be sold for at least 500 days of tradable life. You know, after killing the silver boss, the cursed, he had been fighting for so long, and he had only reached a lifespan of just over 600 days. These 500 days are already considerable. Just as he was walking back invisibly, he saw 2 figures. Zhang Li from Dajiang Industrial. Qin Feng passed by her silently. I heard her talking to the young man in her team. Lao Mao. Miss, you have reached level 3. Is it time to fulfill your promise? Yali. Don't worry, our Dajiang Industrial can still save you such a small amount of money. Let's go back to reality now. I'll give you a mobile phone number and you can contact me. By the way, sell me all your tradable lifespan. I will pay you 10,000 for every day of your life, will you sell it? Lao Mao. Okay, haha. The young Mao Lijun is just an ordinary professional. He is a self-selected shooter and has agility at the beginning, which makes his early leveling go smoothly. Now that he has brought the Yali to level 3, it's time to harvest. Shadow. Even though you have reached level 7, this is just a game. Like me, seize the opportunity when you have the opportunity and turn your gaming ability into cash. This is the real smart person. Even if this game really affects lifespan, this lifespan can be refreshed at any time, so why are you so anxious? Mao Lijun was proud of himself. I am happy that I am about to receive 5 million, no, more than 6 million. He had never seen so much money in his life, and it made him very excited. Of course, Qin Feng didn't bother to pay attention to those 2 people. Soon, we returned to Shell Town again. He first remained invisible, went to the basement of the central square, walked down the stairs, and saw a petrified portal. He reached out and touched. Congratulations on lighting up the teleportation array in Shell Town. Shell Town is connected to other initial towns in Zhonghai City, Daxia Kingdom, and can be teleported once a day for free. Multiple teleports require tradable lifespan. You have gained 1 reputation point. After finishing it, Qin Feng returned to the square. The black-robed assassin who had returned to his face with a veil appeared in the sight of the players in the town, attracting countless envious, jealous, and adoring looks. Chapter 21. In Shell Town, Shadow is an existence that everyone looks up to. At a time when the vast majority of players cannot even reach level 3. This, Shadow, has reached level 7. If it were just an ordinary online game, people would probably just praise and sigh. But now, This god-forsaken game is an extraordinary game linked to lifespan. How can people not be envious and jealous? Under the envious eyes of countless people, Qin Feng returned to Shell Town and first activated the portal in the basement of the square, gaining 1 point of reputation. Then return to the square and start setting up stalls again. Originally, there were many other people setting up stalls around the broken flower bed. But seeing Qin Feng appear, people gathered around him one after another. The boss is finally here. I have prepared a lifespan of 150 days, just waiting for the boss to sell something. Last time, the big boss showed up and sold the ice cone technique, allowing Grey Rose to rush directly to second place on the level list. It was so powerful. Nonsense, the boss's stuff, can it be an ordinary thing? Many people gathered in anticipation. Everyone knows that many of the things Qin Feng sells are of high quality. At this stage, many players can kill ordinary mobs, but cannot kill boss. They can accumulate lifespan, and they can farm mobs to explode low-quality equipment and a small amount of ordinary equipment, but there is no way to obtain high-grade equipment and skill books. Buying from Qin Feng is the only way at present. After all, they can't defeat the boss. As long as there are useful equipment and skill books in Qin Feng's hands, the supply will definitely exceed the demand. For example, the silver-level warrior skill book, War Cry, released by The Curse, was directly sold with a lifespan of 300 days. This price is really not low. A skill book bought me nearly a year of life. There are many warriors who also want to buy the War Cry, but cannot afford the price. They can only watch with envy as a level 4 warrior buys the skill book. With a lifespan of 300 days, is it worth buying a skill book? No matter how long you live without money, it will be torture. It is better to exchange your life for money. So you are short-sighted. If someone buys this skill book, the efficiency of killing monsters will be doubled. What does a mere 300 days of life mean? Yes, as long as you are strong enough, immortality is not impossible, let alone 300 days. In addition to this skill book, there are also some low-level equipment and skill books. Low quality, ordinary, bronze, all available. Some attributes are relatively good, but the price is relatively high, such as footwear equipment that increases movement speed, and skill books with control effects and acceleration effects, which can be sold for 50 to 80 days. For the rest, the price is relatively low, only 20 to 40 days. In addition to selling things, Qin Feng also marked on the stall that he needed to purchase items such as storage backpacks. It didn't take long. A beautiful girl with a slim figure wearing a black robe, with a staff hanging on her waist, came to Qin Feng. It is the hidden profession of Wang Meng's team, the young prophet codenamed Hybulin Big Plum. The prophet belongs to the mage profession and can wear magic equipment. Due to the passive nature of the profession, the seer is much stronger than the average mage, mainly in terms of damage. Boss, I have what you want. This beautiful girl came to Qin Feng cutely. With bright eyes, she stretched out her white hand and showed a ring in front of Qin Feng. Qin Feng took a look. Space ring. With 12 storage spaces. It does not occupy the equipment slots of rings and backpacks. Qin Feng was a little surprised when he saw this thing. If it is a storage backpack, each player can bring up to 3. In other words, 3 backpacks is the upper limit. But the space ring is a special storage equipment and does not occupy the slot of the backpack. In other words, extra storage space. Although this thing can explode any monster, its explosion rate is extremely low. In the previous life, a space ring could be sold for at least 10 years of tradable life, that is, more than 3,650 days. So Qin Feng asked, how do you plan to sell it? Hybulin Big Plum said mysteriously, I don't want the boss's lifespan. I just want to increase the boss's friends. In addition, I want to invite the boss to join our team and kill a boss together. Qin Feng thought for a while and then sent a friend application to the girl. Player, Hybulin Big Plum, has agreed to your friend application. The player, Hybulin Big Plum, sent you a private message. Qin Feng opened the private chat interface. Chatted privately with the girl for a while. Learned the situation quickly. It turns out that after Wang Meng went offline, he hadn't come online yet. This beautiful girl was a little bored, so she wandered around killing monsters, and finally found a gold-level boss. She definitely couldn't fight it herself. The original plan was to wait until all teammates were online before going together. But then I thought about it, even if her whole team went up to the gold level boss, they probably wouldn't be able to defeat it. The previous bronze level sprinter had already left a deep impression on her. I just happened to see Qin Feng now. He planned to get to know Qin Feng and use the space ring in exchange for a chance to let Qin Feng help. Qin Feng thought for a while and asked, "What's the name of the gold level boss?" Hybulin Dailizy shook his head. "I was too far away and couldn't see clearly. But the gold level health bar is obvious. It is on a ship in the swamp. It looks tattered." "A ship?" Qin Feng nodded, knowing what he was thinking. He privately chatted with the girl and said, "I can help you fight. If the boss gives you equipment and skill books that you can use, I can give them to you. Everything else belongs to me, how about it?" The pretty girl was a little surprised. "Ah, what about Captain Wang Meng and the others?" Her plan is to let Qin Feng go with her team, and after beating the boss, whoever uses it will take it. But this is a big loss for Qin Feng. Qin Feng shook his head. "Your team has all kinds of professions. If you don't produce me as an assassin, wouldn't my job be in vain?" Hybulin Dailizy thought about it, and it was right. The gold level boss is definitely not that easy to deal with. So she retreated to the next best thing and continued, "Then I'll do what you said. But I have a request. If Captain Wang Meng and his equipment come out, can you give me a slight discount and sell them to us?" Qin Feng nodded. "That's no problem." The pretty girl nodded. "Okay, let's go when the captain and the others come online." Qin Feng saw that his goods were almost sold, shook his head and said, "No need to wait, just take me there, I can kill by myself." As soon as these words came out, Hybulin Dailizy was stunned. "Huh." The girl was stunned. One person, kill the gold level boss. Isn't this too inflated? In the eyes of the girl, although Qin Feng upgrades quickly, does high damage, and can appear and disappear, the monster boss in this godforsaken game is also very strong. Especially, the gold level boss has no idea what skills the opponent has. This boss is so sure that he can kill alone. Is that too much? In fact, Qin Feng's words were certainly not nonsense. After hearing the girl's description, Qin Feng knew that the gold level boss was a rare and special boss, the Golden Ghost ship. This kind of boss will appear at any level. If it appears near the initial town, the level should be level 5. Its HP and attack are similar to those of ordinary gold level boss, but it has many more skills and is extremely difficult to defeat. The most important thing is that this boss will drop a very useful special item. Those special props will be unavailable for thousands of years in the later stage. It's really good luck to encounter the Golden Ghost ship in the initial town so early. Also, the level 5 Golden Ghost ship is the best to fight. If it is a high-level Golden Ghost ship, the skill range and damage will be extremely outrageous. A few minutes later, Qin Feng sold the last 2 things and left Shell Town with the girl, Hybulin Big Plum. He counted them. The total lifespan of the items sold this time was 650 days, bringing his accumulated tradable lifespan to 2,174 days. But, not enough. If you want to extract the levels, attributes, professions, and equipment skills of the God-abandoned game into reality, these 6 or 7 years of life are not enough. It's not far from level 10. Before then, save as much life as possible. The unexpected discovery of the boss, Golden Ghost ship, will be another turning point for Qin Feng. Once he is killed and that special prop is revealed, Qin Feng will develop faster. Qin Feng took Hybulin Dailizy and left the town together. This beautiful girl's real name is Lin Liu. There is a kind of shock in the depths of her big eyes. It was hard for her to imagine how Qin Feng could kill the gold level boss alone. The gold level boss will definitely have a large-scale attack, right? Even if he can become invisible, he can't be without injuries. With his assassin stature, once he is attacked by the boss, he will probably die suddenly. Suddenly, Qin Feng returned to her side. "You're a little slow," Qin Feng said lightly. "Someone is following you from behind." The girl opened her beautiful eyes wide. "Ah, what should I do? It's obviously not a good thing if someone is following you. It would be uncomfortable if you were attacked by someone while fighting the boss." Qin Feng said, "Just keep walking, I will come as soon as I go." Lin Liu didn't look back. Her graceful body in black robe continued to walk forward on the scorched earth. Qin Feng quietly disappeared. A few seconds later, Qin Feng retreated into the woods dozens of meters away and saw 5 players following him at a glance. Instant shadow slash. His figure flashed past in the dark woods. The sword light blooms. -817. -821. -798. 4 damage figures floated in front of Qin Feng's eyes. The 4 stalkers died suddenly on the spot. There was also the last person. Seeing the 4 people being killed instantly, his face changed slightly. He was about to run away, but a poisonous dart accurately hit the back of his head. -948 weakness attack. Instant kill. It's a pity that these 5 guys are all poor. Qin Feng picked up all the tradable lifespans they revealed, which only added up to about 10 days. Just think of killing 2 little monsters. Qin Feng left the woods calmly. Let's go faster. Qin Feng returned to Lin Liu in front. He directly stretched out his hand to pick her up around the waist and put her on his shoulders. Lin Liu was a little confused. This posture was so outrageous. Like being captured by the Mountain King and taken back to be the wife of the village. But soon, she was shocked by Qin Feng's speed. Now Qin Feng has a total of 72 agility points, and his normal speed reaches 8.5 meters per second. When running at full strength, he can reach 25 meters per second. That means it only takes 4 seconds to travel 100 meters. This has far exceeded the limits of human beings. As long as you reach level 10, this attribute can consume tradable life and be extracted into reality. Let me have such attributes in reality. Qin Feng thought. I have to say that Lin Liu has a good figure. The waist is slender and the legs are slender. Although this is a game, it is the same in reality. In the God Abandonment game, the player's height, weight, and appearance are no different from reality. This is another reason why people quickly think that this God-forsaken game is an extraordinary game. This technology is completely beyond the reach of Blue Star's current level of technology. At this time, although Qin Feng couldn't become invisible with Lin Liu, he could run as fast as he could while carrying her, and no one else could catch up with him. Although I am strong now, I have no anti-hidden means. I can only kill visible enemies. If someone is invisible and follows me, I won't be able to detect it. He could only carry Lin Liu on his shoulders and move forward at the fastest speed. In this way, no one could catch up. Following Lin Liu's prompts, Qin Feng moved forward in this dark forest. When you encounter a mob, just fire a poisonous dart to kill him instantly. Lin Liu saw this and clicked his tongue. Qin Feng's strength is too strong. After more than 10 minutes, the two finally came to a cliff. Standing on the cliff and looking forward, I saw a swamp with gray mist spreading under the small cliff more than 10 meters high. In the swamp, there is a boat. A broken ship with a faint golden color, and the blood strips on the ship could be vaguely seen from more than 100 meters away. The health bar is very long and inlaid with a golden frame, which is the symbol of the golden boss. It is indeed a golden ghost ship. When Qin Feng saw the appearance of the broken ship, his heartbeat suddenly accelerated. He put Lin Liu down on the cliff. You wait here, be careful of being attacked by others. I will deal with the boss. After saying this, without waiting for Lin Liu to reply, Qin Feng found a path to the side and walked down the cliff along the path. When Qin Feng stepped into the swamp area, a system prompt sounded in his mind. Due to the influence of the ghost ship, this area has become a violent area. Life loss rate in the area, 100 times. This swamp currently has a lifespan loss rate of 100 times. That is to say, staying in this violent area for about 15 minutes will consume a full day of life. Certainly, this temporary violent area has little impact. But 3 months after the advent of the God-abandoned game, the first spread of desolation broke out, and the entire Blue Star reality would turn into a violent area, and even more terrifying disaster areas and nightmare areas. Until then, human disaster has truly come. At this time, the system prompt only made Qin Feng glance at it for a moment and then stopped paying attention. He had gone into invisibility and was walking on the swamp. Even in the swamp, invisible players will not create traces such as footprints. Qin Feng moved towards the center of the swamp. Not long after, the gray fog dispersed like clouds, and a tattered ghost ship nearly 5 meters long appeared in front of him. On top of the ghost ship, there is a skeleton that is about to fall apart, holding a paddle in his hand. At the bow of the ship, there is a bell burning with golden will-o'-the-wisp. Golden Ghost Ship LV5. Grade: Gold Special. Existence countdown: 45 minutes and 25 seconds. Fortunately, I have 45 minutes. Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief. This special boss has a time limit for its appearance. It exists in a place for a while and then disappears. Now, there are still 45 minutes left, enough for Qin Feng to kill this golden ghost ship. Let's kill. Qin Feng glanced at the latent shadow skill, which had been cooled down, and launched an attack directly towards the golden ghost ship. Instant shadow slash. -549. -549. -549. 5 damage numbers appeared in succession from the ghost ship in an instant. Qin Feng's figure disappeared in a flash, and then appeared again, and a poisonous dart landed on the golden bell on the ghost ship. -621 weakness attack. -207. -207. The ghost ship's weakness is not the ore-holding skeleton on the ship, but the golden bell. After Qin Feng finished using the 2 skills, he directly hid in shadow, and retreated to the distance as quickly as possible. Immediately afterwards, I saw the ore-holding skeleton on the golden ghost ship making a squeaking sound, and a pair of hollow eyes lit up with will-o'-the-wisps. In the surrounding swamp, water suddenly surged. Dozens of torrent water jets erupted from around the ghost ship in an instant. Qin Feng knew very well that with his current fragile body, once he was hit by these water pillars, he would definitely die. Fortunately, he was prepared. He retreated immediately after the sneak attack, but even so, there were water jets erupting in front, behind, and left of him, almost making him faint. The closer we get to the ghost ship, the denser the water column becomes. Unless you're a warrior with silver equipment, you won't be able to withstand a single bombardment from this water column. Qin Feng was calm and composed, and through prediction and positioning, he avoided the eruptions of water jets one after another far away from the ghost ship. At the same time, after the water column erupted, rotten water ghosts crawled out of the swamp. There are a total of 12 of these rotten water ghosts, and each one has the combat power level of the silver boss. And there is no reward for killing these rotten water ghosts. This is the most disgusting thing about the golden ghost ship boss. Don't kill the water ghosts. 12 silver level mobs are enough to wipe out any team. Just kill the water ghost. There will be no reward for killing it, and it will waste a lot of time. The scariest thing, this golden ghost ship summons 12 rotten water ghosts every 3 minutes. If the team's output is not enough, there will be more and more rotten water ghosts, leading to the final destruction of the team. As for the HP of the golden ghost ship, even if Qin Feng's current damage is reduced by using those 2 skills, it will only be 1/10 of it. It can be seen that his blood volume is as much as 40,000 to 50,000. For a player with a skill that deals 20 or 30 points of damage, killing this golden ghost ship is simply a dream. Xiaohei, I will die once in a while. While hiding his skills, Qin Feng opened Lin Liu's private chat and told her, "You don't have to worry about boss during this period, just wait until I return." Lin Liu was a little dumbfounded when he heard this private chat. Her, who is Xiaohei? Qin Feng, aren't you Xiaohei? Lin Liu almost collapsed, but she had nothing to say. Who asked her to get an ID called Hybulin Big Plum? At the same time, in Shell Town, there are several players looking for it on the road leading to this swamp. Do you really think that my Tetsuo is easy to bully? A middle-aged man wearing heavy armor and a cross scar on his face was looking for traces of Qin Feng everywhere with a gloomy expression. This middle-aged man is codenamed Iron Man. Just now, the pursuer Qin Feng killed instantly was one of his men. When I used to kill legends and win one shabak after another, this kid was still nursing. Tetsuo is very interested in Qin Feng. He had always wanted to follow Qin Feng, but Qin Feng had been invisible since he left the town, making it impossible for him to find anyone. Finally, now he got his chance. Qin Feng went out with a girl. You are a young man after all. Can you help yourself to having a girl so soon? Tetsuo smiled. He felt that Qin Feng could be invisible, but that girl couldn't be invisible, right? As long as you follow behind, you can learn Qin Feng's secret. Unexpectedly, Qin Feng turned around and killed all his men. Now, Tetsuo led about 20 people, searching in the direction away from Qin Feng. During this period, many younger brothers were besieged and killed by monsters, but Tetsuo didn't care. As long as Qin Feng's secret can be discovered, everything will be worth it. Finally, boss, we found that woman, on top of a cliff. There is a swamp ahead, and the shadow is challenging the boss. This discovery made Tetsuo extremely excited. He immediately asked his men to gather together, a total of about 20 people, and rushed towards the swamp together. At this time, Qin Feng kept dodging various water element attack skills released by the Golden Ghost ship, watching the timing, and launched Shadow Slash and poisonous darts again and again. Because the boss attacks too frequently, Qin Feng doesn't have many opportunities to attack. By the time the BOSS was reduced to half health, about 10 minutes had passed. In other words, Qin Feng can find an opportunity to take action basically every 2 minutes. Just when the Golden Ghost ship had half of its HP left, the will-o'-the-wisp bell on the bow suddenly rang. An invisible soul wave spread towards the surrounding area, spreading for more than 100 meters. When Qin Feng was touched by this soul wave, he was immediately immobilized. Even though Qin Feng was invisible, he was swept out by this soul wave. The next moment, a column of water erupted violently under his feet, shrouding him in it. -1059. Kill Qin Feng instantly. This is the half-health mechanism of the Golden Ghost ship. It lasts for 5 seconds to force the body to a large area. There is no way to avoid it and can only resist. And this was what Qin Feng had expected. You have died and you have lost 326 years of life not tradable. You have died and you have lost 1087 days of life tradable. Directly exploding half of the body's lifespan. This loss can be said to be huge, but the impact is not big. As long as Qin Feng returns, he can pick up the exploding tradable lifespan. As for the non-tradable lifespan, even if you pick it up from a monster, you will lose 50%. Of course, this loss is not important compared with the item that the ghost ship will explode. Just when Qin Feng died and returned, Tetsuo arrived with his men. At a glance, he saw Qin Feng being killed and his lifespan revealed. Ha 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 ha, God help me. This stupid cup is so big, do you really dare to challenge a gold-level boss? Brothers, let's go, let's take over the boss and pick up the lifespan of the shadow explosion. Looking at such a big ball of gray-white light, it has at least several hundred days of tradable life, right? Tetsuo and his younger brother rushed directly to the Golden Ghost ship. But after just a few moments, in the swamp, there were 30 or 40 silver-level rotten water ghosts. Together with the water jets from the Golden Ghost ship, they directly wiped out the 24 people on the spot. They didn't even get close to the place where Qin Feng died. Gray-white lifespan light balls exploded everywhere in the swamp. How could a special boss that even Qin Feng had to die once to kill be so easy to defeat? Tetsuo, who returned to the town after his death, and his men were all dumbfounded. Nah. Why is this boss so fierce? Then how did Shadow beat it to half health? What the hell? Tetsuo and his 23 men all transformed into white light and were resurrected in Shell Town. All of them looked ugly. I originally wanted to take over the gold level boss that Shadow had to deal with, but I never expected that the boss would be so powerful. It's so outrageous. We just entered the swamp and we were surrounded by silver monsters. And the water jets are spraying everywhere, and there is no time to dodge. I can react, but I'm not fast enough. How agile can Shadow be to dodge the water column? You must have added agility, right? How is that possible? How can he get the damage from his full agility? How can he defeat the boss with half of his HP? That's right, we just pumped out blood for a while, but the result was only 3% of the blood. He beat half the blood by himself. How on earth did he do it? Tetsuo's face was gloomy. This time they suffered too much loss. According to Tetsuo's theory, if you die, you will lose some non-tradable lifespan, so there is no problem. The key is to make yourself strong enough before your untradable lifespan expires. But now, they are giving it away this time. Let's go on. Tetsuo was naturally unwilling to give in. Under the surprised eyes of many people in Shell Town, he led the team and continued to set off. Their situation surprised many people in the town. Nowadays, it is rare for so many people to be wiped out together. So, others followed them, leaving the town and heading towards the swamp. However, Qin Feng was much faster than them. When Tetsuo and his men set off again, Qin Feng had already arrived at the swamp again. Instant shadow slash. Poison darts. Continue to play the same way as before to deal with the Golden Ghost ship. After reaching half health, the Golden Ghost ship has several more skills. There is a large-scale attack skill among them. When the skeleton ore on the Golden Ghost ship paddles, waves of water spread in all directions. With Qin Feng's current attributes, there is only one way to die if he is affected by the water wave. But for Qin Feng, this thing is easy to hide. When the water wave spreads over, just jump up. It's just that the spread of water waves is irregular, sometimes fast and sometimes slow, which requires extremely high reaction speed from the players. If the reaction speed is slower, there is only a dead end within 100 meters of the Golden Ghost ship. As for other boss skills, most of them are single target skills. Since Qin Feng has been invisible, those skills will not be released. Qin Feng only needs to avoid range attacks. Just when the boss still had a quarter of his health left, Tetsuo finally arrived with his men again. They looked at the lifespan light balls everywhere in the swamp, and immediately wanted to go in to kill the shadows and grab the boss. But, when they were about to leave the woods and step into the swamp, suddenly a bolt of lightning flew out of the woods, landed on Tetsuo, and directed towards several people around him. -39, -34, -36, This is the damage level of most players at this stage. In order to prevent anyone from disturbing Qin Feng, Lin Liu hid in the woods and suddenly launched a sneak attack. Moreover, Wang Meng led an elite team, so he knew that agility was very important in this game. Lin Liu's movement speed is much faster than ordinary players. The sneak attack hit, and seeing the opponent turn around, Lin Liu immediately ran away. Qin Feng was dealing with the Golden Ghost ship in the swamp. He saw this scene from a distance and didn't pay much attention. In fact, even if those people entered the swamp, they would probably die. Instant shadow slash. Poison darts. Qin Feng looked at the opportunity and did it again. The boss only had the last 5,000 health left, and it looked like there was only 1/10 left on the health bar. Just as another group of players followed Tetsuo and others all the way, they also arrived at the edge of the swamp. Qin Feng just made the last instant of shadow slash and passed through the Golden Ghost ship. 5 rays of sword light bloomed in succession, slashing at the boss ship. -549. -549. -549. You killed the Golden Ghost ship gold level. You have gained 4,800 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 8. Congratulations on getting 7 evolution points. You gain 216 days of life tradable. At the same time, a server-wide announcement sounded in the minds of all players of the God-abandoned game. Player, Shadow, Shell Town, killed the gold level boss for the first time in the entire server and gained 3 reputation points. This announcement was broadcast 3 times in a row. All players of the God-abandoned game, both domestic and foreign, fell into a state of sluggishness and shock. Golden boss. First kill. What the hell is this shadow, so powerful? Oh my god, I can't even defeat a monster. Is he a gold level boss? Shell Town is the initial town of which country? The first person to kill the gold level boss must be Smekta, the strong man from our great cold country. See Gui. This, Shadow, is definitely a master of our Sakura country. Players around the world who have entered the God-abandoned game were shocked at this moment. Even in reality, anyone who has played the God-abandoned game will also hear the server-wide announcement. For example, Wang Meng. He had just finished reporting the situation and was rushing back. He was confused when he heard the announcement. I just said that Shadow can defeat the bronze boss alone. The result was suddenly, everyone has killed the gold level boss alone. Why is the gap between people so big? I lead a hidden professional team, and now I can barely defeat the bronze boss. This Shadow can kill gold alone. Wang Meng instantly doubted his life. A place abandoned by the gods. While countless players around the world were shocked, Qin Feng's expression did not change at all. After all, He had killed some boss for the first time in his last life. Although he led the team to attack them together, he had triggered this kind of server-wide announcement many times. For gold, platinum, jade and diamond level boss, the first kill will be calculated according to the boss level. For example, the first kill of a gold level boss is only counted once. Now after Qin Feng triggers it, if someone else kills the gold level boss, there will be no first kill. But if the boss reaches the epic level, they all have names, and every time a boss is killed, the whole server will be announced. This time, Qin Feng did not team up with Lin Liu. Therefore, his name was the only one on the announcement. When the last instant of Shadow Slash was released, the golden ghost ship fell apart, exploding with loot all over the place. Before Qin Feng had time to pick it up, a group of players rushed into the swamp. Guang, use your skills to find that guy. Kill him, and we will monopolize the gold boss drop reward. A tall, thin young man with very pale skin, but his eyes lit up when he saw the loot revealed by the boss, and he made it clear that he wanted to grab it. Gold level boss. In other words, what exploded on the ground were at least silver level equipment and skill books. We even saw golden light, which meant there were gold level trophies. Immediately afterwards, a hunter player behind him raised his hand to summon a ghost horned eagle. The horned eagle flew into the sky, and light blue energy ripples spread towards the surroundings. This energy ripple can be hidden. According to the idea of this group of players, they can find the invisible shadow and then kill it. However, when the ghost horned eagle flapped its wings and shot out light blue ripples, it could not find any invisible players. At this stage, the anti-stealth skills that players can obtain are all level 1. And Qin Feng, Shadow Profession, comes with +1 invisibility level. Therefore, these players naturally cannot discover Qin Feng. Qin Feng is not in a hurry about the trophies on the ground. Anyway, he has the right of ownership and protection time, and others cannot pick them up. Seeing those players summoning the ghost horned eagle, Qin Feng knew their plan. You still want to kill me and steal something? You're thinking too much. Qin Feng sneered secretly. He was like an invisible ghost, wandering around. There were a total of 10 people on the other side, all gathered together and approached the body of the golden ghost ship. They guessed that Qin Feng had run away. Otherwise, there would be no reason why they couldn't find the ghost horned eagle even after releasing it. Consider him smart. The tall and thin young man sneered and raised his hand, but don't be careless and be ready for battle at any time. The ownership of the boss's loot is protected for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the boss's loot will belong to us. The ghost horned eagle flew above their heads, and the reflected energy ripples spread, making them feel safe. But, suddenly, a figure flashed past their field of vision. Along with countless sword lights, they bloomed on a dozen of them. They only saw damage numbers floating around them, then their vision went dark and they died on the spot. Instant Shadow Slash. If the opponent spreads out, it would be a little troublesome for Qin Feng to kill him. Now that we are together, we can't blame Qin Feng for not being a good person. Kill them all. The sword flashed, and next to the broken body of the golden ghost ship, there were 12 gray-white lifespan light balls. The entire swamp was finally quiet. By the way, where did that girl Lin Liu go? Qin Feng glanced around the swamp and saw no one. He was not in a hurry to use the Hand of Greed on the corpse of the golden ghost ship, but opened the skill panel first. I had 6 evolution points before, but this boss gave me 7 points, so I just made up 13 points. Evolution Greedy Hand. Hand of Greed Diamond Right Pointing Arrow Epic Assassin Skill. There is a 220% right pointing arrow 300% probability of receiving an additional loot reward. The additional loot obtained has a 100% probability of being upgraded by 1 level. Epic Hand of Greed. Direct qualitative change. 100% improved by 1 level. Isn't this invincible? Qin Feng's breathing became a little rapid. Even though he has been playing in the God Abandoned game for 9 years, he has never heard of such an outrageous skill. Nothing to say, just touch the corpse. You used the skill, Hand of Greed. You have gained 7 evolution points. You have gained 7 evolution points. You have gained 7 evolution points. You gain 216 days of life tradable. You gain 216 days of life tradable. You gain 216 days of life tradable. A series of system prompts came, making Qin Feng's heart beat faster. Get 21 evolution points directly at one time. 648 days lifespan. Qin Feng picked up all the tradable lifespans of everyone in the swamp, including the more than 1,000 days that he himself had revealed. Then he looked at his tradable lifespan, 3,115 days. Another 21 evolution points. Continue to evolve the Hand of Greed. Qin Feng clicked on the skills panel. But when he was about to evolve Greedy Hand, he heard a system prompt. The skill, Hand of Greed, has reached the epic level, and continuing to evolve requires 10 times the number of evolution points. Do you want to spend 210 evolution points to evolve this skill? Qin Feng chose no. 210 evolution points, where did he get so many? To evolve from epic level to legendary level, you need 10 times the evolution points. Wouldn't there be more to come later? Qin Feng sighed. Fortunately, now he gains evolution points faster. With the epic Greedy Hand, a gold level boss has 28 evolution points. In this case, the evolution points can only be used to evolve other skills first. Qin Feng shook his head and did not move for the time being. Instead, he picked up all the loot found on the Golden Ghost ship and looked at them one by one. The most important one is naturally the special prop that Qin Feng wants. Will-o'-the-wisp bell, special prop, when carried, lifespan will not be lost upon death. The cooling time of this effect is 1565 seconds. Soul-absorbing passive, when you kill a monster, the lifespan of the explosion is increased by 20%. Shock active, shake the will-o'-the-wisp bell, causing a 3-second immobilization effect on all enemies within 100 meters, with a cooldown of 521 seconds. This special prop is something that you may not be able to buy in the later stages of the God Abandonment game even if you live for thousands of years. The most important effect is the soul-sucking. The lifespan of killing monsters is increased by 20%. In the God Abandoned game, the importance of tradable lifespan is self-evident. Not only does it cost tradable life to extract abilities, but there are many other aspects that need to be used in the middle and later stages. In short, the more tradable life, the stronger the player will naturally be. And this will-o'-the-wisp bell is not considered equipment, it's just a prop. It does not occupy an equipment slot, but only occupies one backpack slot. It is very convenient to use. With the will-o'-the-wisp bell, there is a chance every half hour to make the bearer die without losing life. For Qin Feng, this also increases the chance of error tolerance. After all, although he can remain invisible now, his body is still too fragile. Of course, there is another thing that surprises Qin Feng the most. Even if you kill the Golden Ghost ship, it won't 100% drop the will-o'-the-wisp bell. According to statistics, the drop rate of this thing is about 30%. And this time, my basic drop, plus 3 additional drops from Greedy Hand, actually exploded 2 will-o'-the-wisp bells for me. In the previous life, no one had ever obtained 2 will-o'-the-wisp bells. So Qin Feng doesn't know if the effects of this thing can be superimposed. He looks at his detailed attributes. I found the item, increase the lifespan of enemies killed, and found that it said 40%. That's incredible. Qin Feng was shocked. Can the effects of 2 will-o'-the-wisp bells be superimposed? Next, the tradable lifespan gained from killing monsters will be increased by 40%. Unfortunately, in the God Abandoned game, the special effect cooling of the same props is shared. The passive effect of not losing life after death. As long as it is triggered once, the passive effect of the 2 will-o'-the-wisp bells will enter the cooldown together. The active effect of shock is the same. If used once, both will be cooled down together. This is the basic setting of the God Abandoned game. Qin Feng has been playing for 9 years, so of course he knows it all too well. Of course, even if the soul-absorbing effect can only be superimposed, it is already extremely incredible. Qin Feng originally developed quickly. Now, faster. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng continued to look at the loot. Due to the effect of Greedy Hand, he gained more than 10 pieces of loot after killing the Golden Ghost ship. Among them, there are 11 pieces of gold equipment and skill books, as well as 2 pieces of platinum level equipment and 1 platinum level skill book. Originally, gold level boss dropped basically 2 to 4 pieces of silver equipment, and there was a small chance that gold equipment would be dropped. But now, due to the effect of the epic Hand of Greed, any loot released by the boss will have a grade increase of 1. 3 of the gold trophies were directly upgraded to platinum level. Among these trophies, there are a total of 3 that can be used by the assassin profession. Qin Feng checked in turn. The first is a platinum level assassin weapon. Ghost Ship Double Blade Platinum Assassin Weapon. Attack Power plus 136, Agility plus 22. Attack Speed plus 24%, plus 17 Armor Breaking. Equipment Requirements. Level 5. Unique Special Effect. Each of your basic attacks causes 2 damage. This special effect doesn't have much effect. After all, I use skills to output. However, the basic attack power of this weapon is high enough, and it also adds 22 points of agility. The attack speed will also speed up the release of skills and reduce the backswing of skills. It is not completely useless. As for the armor breaking attribute, the benefits are also very high. When he dealt with the golden ghost ship just now, the damage caused by his skills was obviously much lower than that of other monsters. This is because the defense power of this gold level boss is too high. The income from the armor breaking attribute is quite good. Qin Feng directly replaced the weapon. Then check out the next piece of equipment. Will-o'-the-wisp leather armor gold physical defense plus 25, fire element resistance plus 50. Damage blocked plus 14, HP plus 419. Equipment requirements. Level 5. A nice piece of armor. Especially the damage block attribute. Once I wear this piece of clothing, most players at this stage will not be able to break through my defense at all. Besides, I haven't added any physical strength when upgrading, and now my blood volume is only 350 points. This dress directly added 419 points to me. After all, it is gold level equipment. The properties of one piece of equipment are higher than others' complete set. Finally, there is a skill book. Ghost Blur Gold Level Assassin Skill. Passively gains 15% dodge rate, and triggering dodge will make you immune to all damage. Seeing this skill, Qin Feng's eyes lit up. Finally, an assassin's survival skill is here. The dodge style is not mainstream in God's abandoned games, but that's because the dodge rate is generally not high. Even with 50% dodge, it's easy to die. But I can evolve my skills infinitely. Even if the dodge rate reaches 80%, the effect will be considerable. Qin Feng took a look and found that he still had 21 evolution points. If it were anyone else, faced with these skills, it would definitely be difficult to decide which skills to evolve first. But for Qin Feng, he made a quick judgment. Continue to do damage first. The higher the damage, the stronger the boss can be defeated and the better loot can be obtained. Qin Feng ignored the newly learned Ghost Shadow for the time being. Instead, he chose to evolve Instant Shadow Slash first. You have consumed 3 plus 5 evolution points, leaving 13 points. Blinking Shadow Slash Platinum Right Pointing Arrow Emerald Right Pointing Arrow Diamond Flash in one direction up to 21 Right Pointing Arrow 24 Right Pointing Arrow 27 meters, and enter a stealth state lasting 7 Right Pointing Arrow 8 Right Pointing Arrow 9 seconds causing 5 Right Pointing Arrow to all enemies on the path 6 Right Pointing Arrow 7 slashes. Cooldown 12 10.43 seconds. Chopping Width 3.1 Right Pointing Arrow 3.6 Right Pointing Arrow 4.1 meters. Each slash adds 200 Right Pointing Arrow 250 Right Pointing Arrow 300 attack power. Evolving Shadow Slash twice in a row has at least double the damage of this skill. Even if he is not in the invisible state and does not break the invisibility, one skill will still cause 3000 damage. If the hidden back attack is broken, the total damage of 7 slashes can reach 6 to 7,000. There were still 13 evolution points left, and Qin Feng chose to evolve an initial skill back attack enhancement. You have consumed 2 plus 3 plus 5 evolution points, leaving 3 points. Initial skill. Enhanced back attack normal right pointing arrow bronze right pointing arrow silver right pointing arrow gold. Passive effect. When attacking from behind the target, the damage is increased by 15% right pointing arrow 20% right pointing arrow 25% right pointing arrow 30%. This is a stable damage increase, the higher the better. After packing these things, Qin Feng's combat power increased again. If he was asked to fight the Golden Ghost ship again, he he would be able to finish it in no more than 5 minutes, and he would most likely not die. After all, his agility has improved by 20 or 30 points, and his speed is much faster. He can even dodge the full-screen ghost ship with half health. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng looked at the backpack. In his backpack, there is also a piece of platinum equipment and a platinum-level skill book. The equipment belongs to the shooter, and the skill book belongs to the priest. Platinum-level items are not suitable for sale at the moment. Keep it for now. Qin Feng is not afraid that his greedy hands will be exposed. After all, as long as he is strong enough, what should he be afraid of being exposed? The key point is that no one can afford platinum-level things at this stage. Equipment of this level can be sold for at least 5 or 6 years. As for skill books, which are more expensive, 10 years of life is not much. In addition to the platinum level ones, there are also 7 or 8 gold level equipment and skill books that can be sold to Wang Meng's team. Qin Feng thought for a while. A mage skill book and a magic ring, this is for Lin Liu. As agreed before, there is nothing wrong with giving her her things. After all, Qin Feng got a space ring from her. In terms of value, the value of the space ring is much higher. In addition, items belonging to warriors, priests, and shooters can be sold to Wang Meng's team at a 10% discount. They may not be able to afford it for the time being. But Qin Feng believed in Wang Meng's character, so it was okay to pay him first. After all, Qin Feng had cooperated with him for several years in his previous life and knew that there was nothing wrong with Wang Meng. A rough calculation shows that these add up to a lifespan of several thousand days. Things are sorted out. Qin Feng left the swamp and opened Lin Liu's private chat channel. Xiao He, where are you? Lin Liu really couldn't stand the title, Xiao He, and regretted taking such a code name. But the name of the god-abandoned game cannot be changed. So she had no choice but to answer. I was caught up by Tetsuo and the others and returned to the town dead. Fortunately, the tradable lifespan of our team was left with the uncle. The uncle she was talking about was Wang Meng. Wang Meng has strong survivability, so it is safer to give him your lifespan, which can avoid losing half of your life after death. Okay, wait until I come back and give you something. Qin Feng entered the invisible state and returned towards Shell Town. After a while, I happened to see Tetsuo leading more than 20 people, still rushing towards the swamp. Seeing these players, Qin Feng thought he saw a group of wild monsters and started killing them. At the same time, in another moonlight town belonging to Daxia Zhonghai City. After Qin Xiaoyu obtained the hidden profession, life sacrifice, he found a team in Moonlight Town and was struggling to upgrade outside. They were discussing about the world's first kill of the golden boss just now. Hey, I heard that Shell Town is the original town of our Zhonghai City. Doesn't that mean that the shadow god is from Zhonghai City? Everyone was talking about it. As a priest, Qin Xiaoyu followed behind for treatment and was secretly surprised when he heard his teammates chatting. Shadow, this super boss who killed the gold level boss for the first time in the world was actually from Zhonghai City. This made Qin Xiaoyu's eyes light up, and he secretly decided, when someone in our town reaches level 5, I will go to Shell Town to find the Shadow Master. She is quite disgusted with her current temporary teammates. It takes a long time to kill a monster, and sometimes he is even chased by wild monsters, which makes him extremely embarrassed. She thought to herself, if she teamed up with that shadow, she would be able to level up monsters very quickly, right? The first town in each town to reach level 2 will open the town level ranking list and gain 1 reputation point. The first one to reach level 5 can light up the town teleportation array and gain 1 reputation point. But now, except for Qin Feng who has reached level 8, there are no level 5 players in any other towns. A bunch of level 4 players are struggling to farm monsters and sprint to level 5. Only when someone in the town reaches level 5 and the teleportation array is lit can the town be able to communicate with other towns. And there is a rule. Small towns in the Zhonghai City area can only be connected to small towns in the Zhonghai City area, and cannot go to small towns in other places. At this time, on the way back to Shell Town, Qin Feng encountered Tetsuo and his 23 younger brothers. Qin Feng found that this group of people was quite alert. They seemed to know that he had range damage skills and did not get together. But Qin Feng is holding a platinum-level ghost ship double sword. Even with a normal attack, he can kill a player with 2 swords. He first found the best angle, a quick shadow slash. -1225. -1219. -1231. Qin Feng turned into a black shadow and instantly passed through the opponent's crowd, causing more than 10 damage figures. Instant shadow slash, just one slash, had already killed those 10 people instantly. Then, Qin Feng didn't bother to turn invisible. He held the ghost ship's twin swords and turned into a ghostly killer at extremely fast speeds, killing the remaining 10 people. Tetsuo and his men were all stunned to the spot. Quickly, kill him quickly. Isn't it too much to think of one person beating so many of us? Be careful, he's invisible. They saw the shadow appearing and fought back one after another. Only, after fighting back, they quickly became desperate. There is no such thing as attack lock in this god-forsaken game. Qin Feng's agility is much higher than these people. As long as he sees the opponent's control skills, he can dodge them all perfectly. As for the attacks that fell on him, all only caused single-digit damage. Many people can't even break the defense. Qin Feng's level is higher than theirs, and his equipment is better than theirs, especially the gold level, Ghost Fire leather armor, which gives him a crushing level of combat power in front of these players. Tetsuo and others were killed immediately and cried for their father and mother. I'll wipe it, don't come over, don't come over. He's too fast and can't hit him. How can we play like this? Brother, boss, don't kill me, I only have less than a year left to live, Qin Feng had no idea of showing mercy at all. I originally wanted to take over the boss, but the boss group destroyed me, so I don't bother to care about you. But you still come to cause trouble later, and you still expect me to let you go. Qin Feng's figure was like a ghost walking through the dark woods. In the end, he killed 22 people, including Tetsuo. When people fled in all directions, 2 people still managed to escape. It's not that Qin Feng can't catch up. Instead, these people fled separately. The 2 were far away, and Qin Feng did not need to waste time chasing them. It's a pity that the total lifespan of these people is only more than 30 days. So poor. Qin Feng shook his head. While he was killing these people, he also received a system prompt. Because he took the initiative to kill too many people, he acquired a level of Slayer, negative status. When the Slayer is at level 1, death will drop 75% of the current lifespan. When the Slayer is on the second level, death will drop 87.5% of the current lifespan. In other words, each level of the killer state will make the player die one more time when he dies. Only, Qin Feng has a will-o'-the-wisp bell. Even if he accidentally dies once, he will not lose any lifespan. Therefore, Qin Feng didn't care at all about the negative state of this killer. Anyway, this state will not reduce his attributes, nor will it affect his development. As long as he does not die twice in a row, it will have no impact on him at all. Soon, Qin Feng returned to Shell Town. The will-o'-the-wisp leather armor on his body had dark red flame lines on the black background. He was handsome and murderous. He had just returned to the town and attracted the attention of everyone around him. It's Shadow. Isn't this leather armor so handsome? Is it gold level leather armor? I'm so envious, he really killed the golden boss alone. Haha, in my opinion, this guy must be a boss that can only be beaten solo due to a bug. It's so funny. Can you go and give me a card upstairs? In the eyes of countless people with envy and hatred, Qin Feng came to the central square of the town. Suddenly, a group of people came to Qin Feng with great respect. The leader among them was a tall, thin young man with pale skin. It was him just now, with his teammates with the ghost-horned eagle, who wanted to steal the loot of the golden ghost ship, but Qin Feng brought all the people back in an instant. Brother Shadow, I'm so sorry. The tall and thin young man came to Qin Feng with a low profile. Brother, this is an assassin skill book we just bought to save our life. Please accept it and pretend that nothing happened to us. Pass, okay. This situation surprised Qin Feng. He glanced at the skill book handed over by the other party. Gouged normal assassin skill book. Single target skill. When hitting, it will add 20 attack points and cause 2 seconds of stun. Cooldown 22 seconds. This is a control skill book. If someone gives you something, don't give it for free. Qin Feng casually took the skill book and said calmly, okay. Get the skill book and learn directly. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng waved his hand to tell them to get lost, and finally met the girl Lin Liu who had been waiting for a long time. However, Qin Feng didn't know. The tall and thin young man codenamed Shanyan looked at his leaving figure with a hint of evil in his eyes. So what if I'm strong in the game? As long as I find you in reality, I can imprison you and make you a slave to collect my lifespan. Wait until other towns light up the teleportation array, send a woman over, and try to find a way to extract information from him. Shanyan, whose real name is Dongfang Xian, is a well-known rich second generation in Zhanghai city circles. He sneered and thought, I heard this shadow's voice just now. It was very strange. It's definitely not from the circle, that means this guy is a poor guy. A professional beauty will come to your door. If you don't believe it, he won't fall for it. Qin Feng met Lin Liu. The girl was wearing a black robe, and her eyes were as smart as water. She was looking left and right. When she saw Qin Feng appearing, she couldn't help but feel a little nervous. For you. Qin Feng casually threw out a gold-level mage skill book and a piece of gold-level mage equipment. Lin Liu was still a little worried. She didn't know if Qin Feng would tell her that the boss didn't explode the mage's equipment. As a result, he stretched out his hand and caught 2 gold-level items. A fire-type range output skill with an additional attack point of 150 points. A magic necklace adds 15 points of spirit, plus 3 points of mana recovery per second. Lin Liu's mind buzzed. These 2 things are so cool, right? This time, she took off directly. Originally, Lin Liu thought that it would be great if Qin Feng could give her a silver-level legal equipment or skill book. But I didn't expect 2 gold levels. This skill, this necklace. It directly doubled my damage several times, and more than doubled my mana recovery. Originally, Lin Liu recovered 2 mana points every second. Now wearing that necklace will restore 5 points per second. Battery life has skyrocketed. It can be said that her efficiency in spawning monsters is now faster than that of the entire team before. Boss, thank you so much. Lin Liu's beautiful eyes were full of surprise, and she was almost moved to tears. Qin Feng shook his head. You're welcome, it's just as agreed. Give me the space ring. What's more, in order to help Qin Feng, this girl was hunted down by Tetsuo once. Although Qin Feng doesn't need her help, but it can be seen that this girl has a good personality and is worth getting to know. Hearing Qin Feng's words, Lin Liu woke up from a dream and quickly handed over the 12 space ring. That's right, boss. Lin Liu thought for a moment and then said, when I was escaping in the woods just now, I found a hole in the ground that seemed to be the entrance to a ruins. Are you interested? Entrance to the ruins. Qin Feng was a little surprised. There was an official rumor before that this Linli fish is a koi carp. Now it seems that it is true. First the golden ghost ship, then the entrance to the ruins. Qin Feng looked at the beautiful girl in front of him and felt that it would be worthwhile to make friends with this girl. Certainly, Qin Feng thought for a while, if he hadn't given him any equipment just now, this girl might not have told him about the entrance to the ruins. Sincerity is mutual. It seems that just these 2 gold-level items bought her off. Qin Feng wanted to laugh a little. He put the space ring on the little finger of his left hand. Finally 27 spaces of storage space. Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief. The backpack space in this god-forsaken game is very scarce, and there is no place to store supplies in the initial town. With 27 grids of space, it is convenient to do anything. Qin Feng said to Lin Liu, your captain is not online yet. Wait until he comes to sell the things to you. I will go to the ruins you mentioned first. The girl nodded. Okay. Lin Liu is very excited now. He took out the sheepskin map rolled up in his backpack and marked a location for Qin Feng. This is the entrance to the ruins. It is a stone slab on the ground. I originally wanted to remove the stone slab and hide inside. But after I walked a few steps inside, I heard ghostly noises coming from inside. I was so scared that I ran away, otherwise we won't be caught up by Tetsuo and the others. Lin Liu said while describing the entrance to Qin Feng. Okay, got it. Qin Feng remembered that location. In fact, every initial town and the terrain outside are the same. These novice towns are completely copied terrains. However, ruins like this and the Golden Ghost Ship boss all appear randomly. Some towns have them and some don't. Anyway, the town where Qin Feng lived in his previous life did not exist. Unexpectedly, this shell town actually has ruins and a Golden Ghost Ship. Qin Feng said goodbye to Lin Liu first. He entered the invisible state and left Shell Town again. I originally wanted to find a place to reach level 10. Since there are ruins, there is no need to do anything else. If you clear the ruins, you can definitely reach level 10. There are mainly 3 types of ruins that will appear in the initial town. One is Tomb, one is Cursed Ruins, another option is Temple of Faith. There is nothing much to say about the tomb. There are a bunch of monsters living in it. It is very difficult to clean. There will basically be a golden boss in the end. The monsters in the Cursed Ruins have all been cursed by ancient gods and evil gods. They may have been humans at one time, some went crazy or died and turned into ghosts. The monsters in the Temple of Faith are all believers of ancient gods and evil gods. They can be killed or not killed, but the map in the temple is very complicated. For the latter two, if you pass the level successfully, you can get some special props or skill books. For example, Qin Feng's Ancient God's Eyeball, also known as the Eye of Judgment, actually comes from a Temple of Faith. No matter what kind of ruins Lin Liu mentioned, Qin Feng would not miss it. Because, among these ruins, even the mobs are at least bronze level, or even silver level. For Qin Feng, this means a huge amount of evolution points. With my current epic level greedy hand, even if I kill a small bronze boss, I can gain 8 evolution points. If it's a silver boss, you can even gain 16 evolution points. Compared with killing high-level boss, killing a large number of small boss will gain significantly more evolution points. Soon, Qin Feng remained invisible and came to the place marked by Lin Liu on the map. Sure enough, I saw a stone slab among the gray-black weeds. Qin Feng moved it away, and a downward staircase appeared. Sure enough, as soon as the stone slab was moved, I heard ghostly screams coming from the depths of the passage, like weeping and complaining. Of course Qin Feng was not afraid. Enter the passage and cover it with the stone slab. The surroundings instantly turned into darkness, with only a faint yellow fire coming from the front, illuminating the stone walls on both sides of the passage. Under the dim light of the fire, Qin Feng's expression soon changed slightly. How come these murals on the stone walls are exactly the same as the Temple of Faith in the previous life? This is the Temple of Faith. Moreover, I'm afraid it's the Temple of Faith that judges the ancient gods. Qin Feng has the Eye of Judgment in his body and has the authority to judge. The appearance of this temple here made Qin Feng feel very unusual. Let's go in and have a look. Qin Feng took a deep breath, remained invisible, and walked forward along the passage. It was when Qin Feng was exploring this mysterious Temple of Faith. Players in each initial town are all upgrading like crazy. Of course, the speed of gaining experience points is definitely not as good as Qin Feng who killed the boss in the ruins. However, others are of lower level and require less experience to upgrade. Soon, someone reached level 5. Light up the teleportation arrays in their respective towns. Each player has a free teleportation opportunity every day to travel to other initial towns. Then, in Shell Town, many players from other towns soon teleported over. Because the master, Shadow, who killed the golden boss for the first time in the world is in Shell Town. There are more and more people in the town. Why are there so many people? Wang Meng went online again and was a little confused when he saw that there were many times more players in Shell Town than before. After entering the God Abandoned game for the first time, you need to reach level 3 before you can leave, which is equivalent to going offline. If you want to go online again, just close your eyes for more than 10 seconds, and an option will pop up asking if you want to return to the land abandoned by the gods. Wang Meng was originally level 3 and ranked among the top 10 in Shell Town. But now, he has been squeezed to more than 20 people. We must hurry up. Wang Meng quickly chatted privately with his teammates such as Hybulin Big Plum. It turned out that 2 people in their team were still not online. One of them was the middle-aged female pastor. We have to recruit another priest. Wang Meng first called the other 3 people together. When he saw Lin Liu, he couldn't help but be stunned for a moment, because he saw that this girl had a necklace with a faint golden bloom on her chest. Wang Meng and the other two were stunned. What are you? Lin Liu smiled and then told what happened with the shadow. Finally, he said, Shadow seems to have equipment and skills for your profession. I will contact him later and ask him to sell the things to us at a discount. Wang Meng couldn't laugh or cry. Silver level is fine, but if this were gold level, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to afford it. The young sharp-eyed shooter in the team looked a little envious. It's great, I actually became friends with the shadow boss. Work harder, if we can get along with the boss, we can follow him. Eat well and drink spicy food, haha. Lin Liu glanced at him with disdain. Looking at your potential, you only expect to have a big advantage, right? Think more about your own reasons. Do you usually work hard to clear monsters and level up? The keen-eyed archer young man rolled his eyes and was too lazy to pay attention to her. Although the four of them met in the God Abandonment game, their relationship is already very good. Moreover, Wang Meng went back this time and checked their actual situation, so he knew something about them. If the background passes the test, it can be fixed. Immediately afterwards, Wang Meng said, we have to find a priest to kill monsters together first. We will start with 5 people. I have a colleague in the next town. When someone in her town reaches level 5, she will also teleport over to join our team. Quote. Lin Liu was a little strange. Where is Sister Wang? Sister Wang is the middle-aged female priest in their team before. Wang Meng shook his head and said, Sister Wang is going to another town to find her son, so I said, we don't have a pastor anymore. Unlike Qin Feng, they can do it alone. To form a team to spawn monsters, both a human shield and a grandma are needed. So Wang Meng started setting up a stall. But instead of selling anything, he wrote on the stall. To recruit people into the team, professional priests are required. There are many booths recruiting people like this, but because Lin Liu was standing behind Wang Meng, the light golden necklace on her chest attracted a lot of people's attention at once. Gold level equipment. Many people are a little skeptical. But because of Lin Liu's good looks, some young pastors soon came to sign up. But as soon as they heard that they had to provide their real identities and that they would be registered with the authorities afterwards, they all backed down. At this moment, a girl with long hair walked over. It is Qin Xiaoyu, the life sacrifice who has reached level 3. Qin Xiaoyu behaved very politely. I am a hidden professional life sacrificer. Can I join your team? Wang Meng glanced at her, his expression unchanged. Life sacrifice, this is a hidden profession, sounds good. But what he wanted to find was someone who could follow him for a long time, so he wanted to confirm the other person's real identity. Qin Xiaoyu did not object and told her identity straightforwardly. Freshman student at Zhonghai Normal University. Both my parents are dead, and there is only one older brother in the family. Well, the one my parents adopted before is not my biological brother. Qin Xiaoyu emphasized. Wang Meng nodded. Qin Xiaoyu. Okay, it's up to you. Let's try it first. Xiaoyuya has joined the team. In fact, Qin Xiaoyu originally wanted to take Xiaoyu as his code name. But she came in relatively late, so someone had already taken the code name. She didn't want to add a number after the code name, so she added the word, ah. After entering the team, Qin Xiaoyu smiled. She seemed to glance at the gold-level necklace on Lin Liu's chest again. The world's first kill of a gold-level boss was taken down by Shadow in Shell Town. Then this necklace is very likely to be related to Shadow. Such a development was naturally something Qin Feng did not expect. In this life, he rose too fast, and his first kill on the gold-level boss spread his codename, Shadow, around the world. The fame was so great that even Qin Xiaoyu was moved. At this time, Qin Feng kept walking along the passage in the Temple of Faith, and soon came to a spacious hall. There was nothing in the hall. There were only 2 bent humanoid monsters, kneeling on the ground with each other, raising their hands above their heads, as if they were holding something up. The ghostly screams heard at the entrance were caused by these 2 humanoid monsters. Pious believer of the ancient god, the judged LV10. Grade. Silver. Qin Feng remained invisible and came to this hall. When he saw the 2 believers kneeling on the ground, he immediately launched the instant shadow slash. Break the hidden. Back attack. Except for weak point attacks, all damage bonuses that are triggered are triggered. And there's nothing you can do about weak points. The skill of Instant Shadow Slash has a random slashing position, so it is difficult to trigger a weak point attack. This cannot be compensated for by techniques, but instead, the basic additional attack of this skill is very high. Minus 1058. Minus 1058. 7 damage figures appeared above the heads of the two devout believers. But their health bars were only deducted by less than half. After all, it is a level 10 silver boss, and its health volume is more than double that of the cursor Qin Feng killed before. Even the combined health of two devout believers has exceeded that of a gold-level golden ghost ship. Originally, Qin Feng was still preparing to dodge the opponent's attack. Result: the two devout believers kneeling on the ground not only did not attack Qin Feng, but turned their direction and knelt down again towards the place where Qin Feng was hiding. These two are the ones being judged, and I have the authority to judge. Could it be that they won't attack me? Qin Feng had an idea and was a little surprised. In order to confirm this conjecture, he took the initiative to leave the invisible state and kept a distance from the two devout believers. It turned out that the two devout believers who looked like ghouls did not attack him. Instead, after seeing him, he completely crawled his upper body to the ground. Originally, Qin Feng wanted to kill these two to get evolution points and experience. But the current situation makes Qin Feng a little confused. Even though he had been struggling for 9 years in his previous life, Qin Feng had never heard of such a situation. I'm afraid it's because I have the authority to judge. Qin Feng knew what was going on. The appearance of such a strange temple of faith here might really be related to his Eye of Judgment. This temple has a secret. He thought for a while and tried to speak. Do you know the way? Lead me the way. The two devout believers seemed a little confused after hearing his words. Clearly didn't know what he was talking about. In fact, Qin Feng knew that the monsters in these places abandoned by the gods were actually creatures of other civilizations. However, they were eroded, corrupted, and all became insane. They even turned into wild beasts that only knew how to plunder life from humans. These two in front of me seemed to have maintained some sanity. Just when Qin Feng was thinking this, these two devout believers suddenly became alert. A hint of ferocity suddenly appeared on their rotting faces, and they turned around suddenly and rushed towards the entrance of this hall. Qin Feng heard messy footsteps coming from the passage outside the hall. It seems that some other players have arrived. Whoops, whoops. The two devout believers condensed 2 green flames in their hands and threw them directly towards the distance of the passage. Ah, it's 2 silver bosses. We can't deal with one of them, so why are there 2 more? Run, run quickly. Balls of green flames were thrown out by the two devout believers, and chaotic and panicked footsteps and shouts came from the passage. Qin Feng returned to the invisible state. Come to the entrance of the hall and look into the passage. I saw that the entire passage had been shrouded in a sea of green fire. In the sea of fire, 6 players had no time to escape and were being burned to ashes. Gray Rose. Qin Feng saw a familiar figure in the flames. It turned out to be the mature lady who had purchased the ice cone technique from him before. Unexpectedly, she also found this temple of faith. It's a pity that her team is not strong enough. 2 silver doormen killed her. This passage is too narrow. There is no place to dodge when faced with the flames of devout believers. So when you find the boss normally, you should go to the lobby first and give yourself enough room to dodge. Qin Feng shook his head. He watched with cold eyes as the 6 people were burned to death by green flames. Soon, 6 gray-white lifespan light balls appeared in the channel. Qin Feng stepped forward to pick it up unceremoniously and found that it was not bad. This group of people actually had a tradable lifespan of more than 100 days. What surprised Qin Feng was that the two devout believers were not interested in these lifespans at all. After killing the 6 people, he returned to the hall and knelt down towards the place where Qin Feng had just disappeared. Qin Feng ignored them for the time being. After searching around the hall, I found that there was no way to anywhere else. No way, that's it. 2 silver-level mini-bosses. Qin Feng was extremely confused. If we continue to explore, there will be no results. Qin Feng simply took action and killed the 2 devout believers. As he expected, No matter how he struck, the two devout believers had no intention of fighting back. He was killed by Qin Feng forcefully. You killed the devout believer of the ancient god, the judged person, silver level. You have gained 4,000 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 9. Congratulations on getting 4 evolution points. You gain 188 days of life tradable. After killing 2 devout believers, Qin Feng rose to level 9. He released the Hand of Greed directly on his corpse. Soon, Qin Feng finished dealing with the 2 silver bosses. A total of 32 evolution points and a tradable lifespan of 1504 days. Epic Greedy Hand, so cool. Moreover, a total of 4 gold level items were produced, plus a dozen silver level items. Among them is a gold level necklace that can be used by assassins. Believer's Pendant Gold Assassin's Jewelry. Agility plus 15, cooling speed plus 20%. Equipment requirements. Level 8. Unique special effect. Summon a silver level devout believer to fight for you, cooling down for 600 seconds. This necklace has good properties. Mainly 20% cooling rate. After Qin Feng put it on, the cooldown of his latent shadow skill was shortened from 22.6 seconds to 19.2 seconds. The cooldown of Poison Dart has been shortened from 4.3 seconds to 3.7 seconds. The cooldown of Instant Shadow Slash has been shortened from 10.4 seconds to 8.8 seconds. Monster farming is more efficient, Qin Feng thought. As for the other trophies, they are all level 8 to 10 equipment. No one will buy them at this stage. Let it go first. Qin Feng was about to leave. Suddenly, the floor in the middle of the hall suddenly became loose. When the 2 devout believers were killed, the mechanism was finally triggered. Is this an elevator? Qin Feng took a look. In the middle of the hall, a round stone plate protruded from the floor. Qin Feng had seen many such things in his previous life. He stepped on it immediately. Immediately afterwards, the round stone plate made a booming sound and actually led him down. In the middle of the hall, a circular pit appeared. When Qin Feng was sent down, immediately, 2 semicircular stones moved out from the side to block the hole. Everything has returned to its original state, as if the round stone plate elevator had never appeared. If anyone else comes here, they will only see the bodies of 2 devout believers and nothing else. Boom. After a loud noise, the round stone plate carrying Qin Feng fell to the ground. The gravel and sand were loose and scattered around Qin Feng. Qin Feng felt that the round stone plate carried him down at least 300 to 400 meters. When we came here, the surroundings became much brighter. On the stone walls on both sides, there were dim torches at regular intervals, emitting light. This is indeed a maze. Qin Feng glanced at it and sighed. He had explored a lot of this kind of maze in his previous life, and he was quite comfortable with it. But it still takes a lot of time to fully explore. The most important is, there are many mechanisms in the maze. With Qin Feng's current attributes, once those mechanisms are triggered, it is almost a dead end. Fortunately, I just dropped this thing. Qin Feng touched the believer's pendant on his chest. Use special effects to summon silver-level devout believers. A creeping gray-skinned humanoid monster gathered in front of Qin Feng. Explore the way ahead. Under Qin Feng's order, the devout believer began to crawl in front of Qin Feng and began to explore the underground maze. With his younger brother exploring the way, Qin Feng felt much more relaxed. After having some free time, Qin Feng opened the skill panel and prepared to use the 32 evolution points just now to continue to evolve his skills.